back to the Fix Podcast, episode 142. It's your boy Naro here with Ari, Javi, +2, and Mr. Vegas in the building. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. I think it's time. You think maybe it's time we can consider Mr. Vegas a friend of the show?
If he wants to consider himself a friend of the show.
But I want to have a sort of friend in me type vibe with Mr. Vegas. I don't know. But in time Mr. Vegas fall up on the show, we're always cool and, you see me?
It's always good conversation.
It's always this good conversation, Mr. Vegas. Bless up though.
Give thanks, man. Give thanks to the invite. Yeah, man.
Bless up, sir.
Bless up the host, all of the other hosts, them.
Of course.
See?
Just play a new tune. My story.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stories that we have to get into with you, but before we get to that, we just have to say, yo, big up to Javs! Javi over here, she's having twin girls.
DJ
Saw
want
the
fight
reveal and everything. Big up to Javs.
Like, no, I want a recount.
Yo, people, you see all of these things that are just being revealed to, we've been known for like a month now, so. Yeah. Like we've known this shit for months.
And you just
except for the gender.
She makes sure never tell me that.
She never did tell me that.
Because you chat too
like,
much.
I've been giving you guys
I wouldn't
secrets.
say that.
I'm not telling you this one.
Really? For what you know?
Like me to find out the Saturday, I would eat the... No, I'm going to find out the Friday, I would eat the Saturday.
Oh.
No, actually, I didn't know.
Oh,
because
surprised.
I'm going to ask if you find out before the fuck
We did the
reveal.
ultrasound and then I gave it to my sister because she can't keep secrets. So make it she. And then she bought the stuff and we did it on Saturday.
Where?
Just Devanos.
Oh,
that it look from my side of Devanos are out
whenever I want to do nothing big, because I say if baby shower, wedding just done, so when I do no bag of excitement, just keep it simple. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have a whole lot of milestones happening.
Look,
really?
Pink
cracks. Like Nicki Minaj. Yo, I guess we're starting on the big up notes right now. Like however, I guess with us here, we have to say congrats to Mr. Vegas.
As well.
Graduating with a 4.0 GPA and a simple something that.
No,
from
it's not.
Broward County.
Broward College.
College, sorry. But the applause there we go.
Well, you look for it.
You can go on at the effects. There we go.
Gracias.
But your degree is in Masscom. So
associate degree.
what made you want to go back to school?
Just not finishing school, dropping out of school, at the start of 9th grade. Never graduating from any formal institution. So those are things that I always think about. I just wanted to re-educate myself. And I think after starting to do a lot of research, especially like on religious stuff, I just started digging more. I said, so much things that I have to learn. And how can I convey the message, more accurate? How can I deliver this message, where people can actually listen when I say and take what I say seriously.
Was this during the Christianity, I'm a Christian run or anti-Christian run? Which one?
No, I think just getting into Christianity and started being getting inquisitive, start doing research. What is this about? More and know some more about that something. So then I started digging and it took me to Ethiopia, it took me to Egypt. And you started finding about the where civilization started and all of them things there. So you started getting more inquisitive about the thing. So I started researching more and it's so, and when you start researching, you start opening up the brain some more. You want to learn more. The hippocampus start fire.
Yeah.
So I say, I'm just eager to learn. So I just started doing a lot of reading on this. I say, I do a GED and see what I want from this. So I did my GED.
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
And I passed that course or class and went into Broward College.
So how long was the degree, to study for the degree?
2 years. 2 years. To get to my master's, my bachelor's is actually 4 years program. But the associate degree, is 2 years.
Yeah.
So maybe you're in UE.
Our own was 3. Your UTech is 4.
Right.
Right. But you know, because now you have virtual classes and them stuff. They can do 3-4 classes or 5 courses, you know, in a semester.
Yeah, so you completed degree during COVID, like the start of COVID. So how was
I
that?
started going to school before
Right,
COVID.
but then to complete it was last year. Or you had to go to school
This
last
year
year.
and last year I graduated May.
Yeah.
So I graduated this month. My
Okay.
My
So
last
that mean
course
you'd
at
have-
Broward was this month.
Yeah. So how was it going to school during COVID? Like,
It actually worked out well for me because I wasn't doing a lot of traveling. Mm-hmm. Yes, I may have all of the time for my hand for
actually
digging.
study and read.
So, yeah.
So how challenging was it for you pre-COVID?
The first time I opened the computer and went into my modules, I almost closed it back and I say, yo, statistics, I would have saw
That course, I was like, can I do another? No,
I said
it's
statistics, so
mandatory.
I come so boom now and go up a U here because I was here and I went up to the university and link up a brother way. You're not supposed to know statistics and it come like it beat him because a long time not do it.
Judge.
So I start get frustrated and I say, yo, so you know, so in the module them now you have some, you know, you can practice. So I kept on practicing until I start get some notification like, you know, I think you need to go on this, you know, channel, all kind of pop-up start go on. So I say, yo, I wonder if I might something this.
They're watching you.
Yeah, because I just get everything wrong. Yeah, so I say, yo, observational and what is now? Yo, you know, so I go on until I call up a few people and start find people. Go up on my live and say, yo, nobody knows statistics. You know, and then people start reach out.
Power of social media.
So a youth now from England. Yeah, a youth from England, him just link me and him say, yo man, you know, I did statistics, man. And him start help me. So I start get a hang of it and start get
So you got a free tutor, that not fair.
Yeah, man.
Just because you're in Vegas, you get a free
He
tutor.
was a fan, like him.
yeah, man, it's on
Express himself
my
on
social
that.
media.
Okay.
That not fair.
So then my niece know that and I didn't even know that my niece was, you know, like a teacher, like that taught like statistics and everything.
Wow.
Okay.
So then I say, yo, and she just started helping me. And then I started going over to the college where the tutors them were. So them start explain it better to me now. I start get a hang of it. And then I start love the class.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. So I do logics and, you know, the whole of them, you know, fly through them. And I used to hate maths. You just say maths and I feel like I want to run. And now, you know, me rather maths more than other subjects.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, because I think it's just maths. Maths is just like critical thinking, you know, like when you do logics, I really understand what maths is about.
Yeah.
You see what I say? And I think I started getting the hang of it. Once you know the formula them and you study the formulas them, you know, I think that's the solution right
I
there.
mean, yeah, but it's just like when you're pre-say, none of them things you know really apply to everyday life. You just get a certain frustration and say, why the fuck am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, maths up to third form can do for life. That's what me always say.
But I think with
First grade maths, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's it.
But
That's it.
I think it makes you sharp, man. I think it does something to the brain. Like you have to constantly remember things.
Yeah.
And as I said before, you know, remember saying, like me, you know, I'm supposed to be like half of my lifetime now. So of course, me need them extra exercise for the brain cells.
So
Because I don't want dementia kick in when I'm 60 and 70.
True.
You see? So I not even do this because, I just do it because I'm a fan of education.
yeah.
I do it because health reasons and them things there.
Kudos to you for going back to school
Yeah.
because I mean, you know, you've accomplished a lot and I mean great things compared to other people like, you know, us. So to go back to school is just like, what's the point? But you said, but when I read you said that you did it for your mom really, like you wanted her, well you would have wanted her
Yeah, my children them too.
to see.
My children as well. You know, because me I say, yo, see your daddy I do it at that age, yeah. You know, that means say, you know, I see it hard, you know. So make sure you get it from now. And
So you were one of the oldest people in the classes? The
I'm not sure because nobody never really tell them age. But what I do know though, me I like the only child from my mother and father that graduated. From college or any university. And I think that's telling here in Jamaica when you have 23 children between my mother and my father. And it's only me alone get tertiary education. So that right there, when I check that, me I say, yo, that's on a way, like more children, you know, there should be a bridge here where children can leave high school and get tertiary education. That you know, we need to. That's something that people need to look into, the government.
And did that in any way drive you to say, I'm going to be that only person, that first person in my family to do
No,
this?
not in his family. He's between his...
Well, between...
Because he has a
between
niece
my mother and father.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, no,
that a driving
I
force
was
in
not
it?
even thinking about that. That didn't cross my mind. And my niece pointed that out to me after I graduated.
Wow. Because her parent would have...
After I graduated, she pointed that out to me. So,
her parent didn't graduate.
because
Who's
her...
related to you?
Yeah, her father is my brother. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows that the artists them out here, especially one of your caliber and the amount of accolades that you have achieved, probably them would even see this as something to go after and you know, become saying bigger than this.
Because you've accomplished the end goal that anybody who got to university... No, because the point of going to university is to get, fortune, maybe a little fame,
and,
you know,
the
security,
money, of course.
and you've accomplished that.
Without that.
Yeah.
So was there any swallowing of pride for you in doing this at any point?
I think maybe like in the future, you know, I may get into politics. You know, I think that's something that I really,
Here in
I'm
Jamaica?
really interested in. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I can see myself at maybe 70. You know, not going on a stage because sing Brocky down and hard work. So a big old man.
That'd be awkward. It'd be awkward.
No, we know say you're the audience, I love it.
What else I gonna say? Oh, like grandpa, like dirty grandpa, like it was like that.
When I 70, when I them age, if I live to see that age, I want to be like, you know, dedicating myself to like helping the youth them. How I can solve, you know, social issues. Yeah.
I'm wondering if this have anything to do with probably a priest. I won that duel of the minds with Damion Crawford. So yeah, we can't go into politics because yeah, sister, don't outsmart them.
No, Damion is a genius, you know. I just think with Damion, you know, in my opinion, as a matter of fact, I just think he's so educated where people take it, you know, for granted.
He is.
I think he's very bright, very, very bright, and maybe I'm not sure if our people them really, you know, value the level of education, their brightness there. It's a mess. I remember when he had his seat, when he was you know member of, and he wanted to do some educational stuff, and the people were against it, and I was like,
I guess because I think the complaint was he wasn't giving out, he wasn't doing the politics that people were used
he was trying to say education.
Yeah, like, you know, people wanted food
that
versus
shocked
going
me.
back
I was
to
like, yo,
yeah,
you know, the people don't really understand, and then we talk about solving crime and violence, but you know, we don't take education, you know, like you don't value education.
yeah.
So when I saw that happen to Damion, I was like, politics can be really, really, you know, something where give you sleepless nights. But it's something I'm interested in now. So maybe in the future, worse, I'm not gonna do it for hustle. Some things I can be one of them voice them when I not forget, I'll be malleable like a Damion then. To bend under the pressure when the pressure reach. Because I think I've done well for myself.
As you say, so Mr. Vegas, I hope this isn't one of those half-baked ideas like when you're just up in the Black Panther where I'm going to church that time, because that never did to end so well. I just hope that this more well thought out than that, Mr. Vegas.
Well, it's not going to be anytime soon, so I have enough time to change my mind.
This is weird, man. This whole politics thing is weird.
Weird.
I know what I feel. I believe that most people can be more impactful outside of politics, because politics is something where, you know, you have to, no matter what, you need the majority of people to like you. Yeah. But in order to do great things, that you have to make unpopular decisions. You have to do unpopular things. So, you know, even changing the culture, like Damion, he wanted to change the cultural mindset of these people, move away from the old time politics into something new, and people rejected that. So it's going to be hard for him to make that unpopular decision in order for him to regain his seat, which is what he needs to in order to be effective. So I'm thinking like politics is just a zero-sum game to me.
Like for example, I've been watching, like, you know, you and you know, the team I've been watching like for like what, maybe almost 10 years now. I watch that him. When I come
So
nightly,
long,
we used to come nightly fix. No. When I get up, when I catch me back fast. So they must say me I come nightly fix on the phone.
Yeah.
So when we look at you know and you know the level of respect to them, I was looking at even like you. I was like, yo, that you the, you know, it's like a future, you know, voice. We can make a change or make some form of impact on society. So we can't just say, yo, we are give up
easy on jobs.
we can't just say we are give up because the people never listen to Damion. Because remember, you know, years of programming, you know.
Yeah.
That we have to understand it.
That's
there has to be some undoing.
So if you're gonna do, you have to start.
So you can even go back to you see him joke of the Black Panther suit. I didn't expect them I could just go in there and them I could just listen to me. I'm going there with a kind of passive behavior and it never worked. Because of course, years of programming. And you have to find ways, you have to use different, maybe if you educate yourself more, you can know how to deal with people in our society. But don't forget that it's years of programming. So when people push back, it's not because them maybe not like you or them hate you. Maybe you offending something where you know you them program into. Or the way they are programmed. You're a threat to the base of the programming, or the foundation of the programming. So that is what Damion I go through. But as I said before, if me get into politics, me not get into politics for the salary. Me I get into politics because I want to be the voice where make we connect. I say, yo, why would still I do this? I could try this, man. Maybe I have my own money can put up to and say, yo, I could invest some money, so who want to come on board? You understand?
If you hear you even talk about Damion like you are now, it's respectable to see how you are speaking about it now, even though if you follow the vlogger them out there, that's three things say was this big clash of words happening and isn't it? Mr. Vegas school Damion and Mr. Vegas versus Damion Crawford, all type of sitting there. And for you talk about him in such a respectful manner. Just know and say you just disagree about this certain thing right now within the space.
Yeah, but if them could eardrop on when me and my reason, them say nothing but respect when me have him because a teacher. He's like,
yes, he is.
He's like a professor to me.
He actually is.
You see?
He taught at
exactly. So, but you have to understand social media as well. You know, you all depend on social media.
No, we understand it.
Me understand. Say if you put up an interview with Vegas and don't have a grabber, we're not going to get the numbers them.
No, we're going to put up, say, Mr. Vegas versus Damion Crawford. Who will win? Boom, find out here. Like, I don't think they're right.
So the vloggers, them, of course, I feel them hustling that.
Yeah.
If they don't put up a grabber, nobody skip through. We're not era nowhere. Yo, everybody have a vlog. So we are going to put up, so them can go put up something and say, yo, Mr. Vegas and Damion Crawford, cool.
But you don't think it speaks to the level of, the level of intelligence of the audience then, who can, like, see the headline and think, see a headline that is, I guess, basically moderate and then want to listen to an engaging debate, but you need something like, as they said, Damion schools, or Mr. Vegas schools Damion or something like that.
I truly believe that 50 or more percent of the people them that listen to these vlogs, they maybe read something and say, oh, like for example, Vegas and Nightly Fix said this. And then listen to what you said, and it said nothing about the grabber or the topic. Yeah. But them still don't realize, say, yo, nothing in the conversation
and they go off.
mention that.
They go off.
And they will still go on in the comments and say, yo, I eat that man.
Mr. Vegas,
this
trust.
is 2 weeks ago. This is
Mr. Vegas,
2 weeks
trust me.
Mr.
Vegas know what. Mr. Vegas know what is happening.
You apologize to Skilly then. What? I didn't say anything.
I them thing happen so much times. And you're right. The percentage where I bring are probably right.
Trust me. Just read in the comments and you realize, say, yo, one of them listen to the
it's a headline thing. Them just go off the
headline.
So they might do a rhetorical analysis and realize the topic where they analyze.
Argue.
Is that even nothing in
the like a discussion on this, and I say like the problem with some of the fans, them especially with like it's like you see them just want to cast us in a certain role.
Villain.
So
which is
no
always
matter how much good we say about a certain entity, them not care. Uno are the villains. Uno are against my artist because Uno said this one bad thing about him one time and criticize him several times. No. uno are haters of my artist and me
Yeah.
hate uno for it. I got some see them reason.
That's
but
pretty
that's
much
okay
it.
though, because we're not doing the job, don't it?
So that's they're reacting, huh?
So if
I don't
I
like
me,
it.
if I have me, I wanna burn me out.
Yeah.
Me understand because I put something forward for get that reaction there.
Yeah.
You understand me? I say, when I do analysis of whatever me put forward, like, you know, who was it on the show? I say, yo, invite a nine.
Yeah, I mean
no say. Well, you know, say, yo, me deliberately do that.
yeah.
Like, but it was done like in a dramatic way, you know, it's like drama. So more than me chip in there.
Yo, Mr. Vegas knows how the thing go. So me even all of that, me suggest the boxing match with you and Tulox, you see me?
I think you got that from me though.
For real?
Yeah.
When
I think
is
it
that?
just placed it. I think it's in your subconsciousness saying that in realize.
When you
Because I
talk
remember
about
saying, go back and check the tape, you know.
But
Yeah,
Remember
when
saying,
you
I
were
call out an artist a few
dressing-
years ago and say, yo, stop call up my name and I make put on a boxing match. Just you check it when
it?
it's
Don't check
done.
it up. What the hell, though?
No man, no. You know that the headline.
Yo, me give credit to the first one.
No, you go find it. Just Google Vegas
Go on,
Vegas
Vegas
challenges
call for the boxing match.
artist for boxing match.
Jaja.
Yeah,
Maybe
Trust
it
me.
was in my subconscious.
because to all over social media, so me know say that how you say, yo, why them not just box? Let me just fight.
I don't. You know what I mean? We just make a spectacle out of it.
I did offer artist some money. I say, yo, me I give you this amount
a
of
certain
money.
percentage, yeah.
No, I was gonna pay the artist out of my pocket for me and him going to a boxing in the national
bounty.
arena.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. You know, so most of the talk about it too. True.
Yeah, man. I think you guys talk about it.
True.
Remember that? Listen, I don't remember nothing past yesterday.
Yeah, man, it just in a listen me.
True, I do remember
That
that.
just place in our long term memory. I will just
probably
put it out
right,
and say,
Mr.
yo,
Vegas.
yeah man, them should have fight, man. Yeah. What's in a celebrity boxing match? That's cool.
It would be.
Trust me, the money where artists that generate from that would be more than what them get on
I'm
stage show.
telling you, Mr. Vegas, I'm telling you.
And that makes someone will lose some belly too.
True.
That have a train.
Take off a train, you can't just go in there just so.
Yo, fans of the line.
And don't train because you're going to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like the fitness for
No
being involved
weapons
in a boxing
allowed.
match.
I'm all
No,
up for
no,
that,
man.
man. I'm all up for that. Trust me. Yes, I.
So you actually, yo, you that do the boxing match with Tulox? Let's just get this
Oh,
out.
you mean?
Mr. Vegas,
Yo.
Mr. Say, yo, me that bring you with that.
No.
I know, say me and Tulox cool and him did page.
Me not underestimate him. Me not underestimate him.
Yeah.
But me that train hard enough.
Yeah.
Because me that say, yo, what you mean?
We
could
can
do
see
this.
that happen.
Or else then give it to the helmet them, to the boxing helmet them.
Yeah, the beginners.
The guard, the head guards. For
Yeah.
because
I'm not supporting violence.
It's not violence.
Not
No, I'm
violence,
not
it's
supporting
competitive
it.
sport.
No, I'm not supporting.
Nah, man, it's celebrity
Especially
boxing match,
them
man.
guard them for real.
Then when I see the foreign artists, them do it all in the wrestling and them take more time, man.
Yo, Ari, yo.
I know you don't want to lose your favorite
Ari,
artist,
you're
but
killing this deal.
No, you know, it's just like, I mean, to me, it's just messy. I don't think the climate here will support that.
I does that.
I think that's the only thing. Like,
Depends
the
on how you
climate
come up.
here, because as you talk about culture,
yeah,
it's
but
a
the
culture.
individuals involved, them have to be mature.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to know, say, yo, nah, I left the
that could be
ring.
like sport, that could be like how to play ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
But as I said, I just don't think we're mature
Once you
here.
put on protective gear and you train, it's a good way to lose weight. It's a good way to stay fit. You have some people in different cultures where them box like,
Yeah.
you know, just a sport.
Yeah.
Not even like on a professional level.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Maybe instead of, you know, people see we like just argue with each other. Well, sometimes we lose ourselves. I think we can circle them thin in some boxing ring, get two trainer, get lick him shrimpy trainer.
Because I know, say, yo, with man more time, we just fist it out and
Duke
just,
it out,
and
yeah.
then from that there's a sort of mutual respect.
Yeah,
gone
because
you know, say, yo,
You say you argue with your friend, right? Like,
Yeah,
when
argue
your
with
friend, like,
fight
fight.
it out and then afterwards we're good.
Have you ever fought with your friend, like, fist fight and, like, on a cool after?
Oh, yeah, man. I find out my virgin one time and the man bite me. I said, man, one of my Look at me on the right, that's all. Right, piece of my flesh come out.
Holding in a headlock or something.
Yo, virgin, me say, I'm come so boom and kick the bird and the man hold my foot and go so bam. For the flesh just come out.
Oh my God. No.
It's an instant flag on the play that instant red
Right? Well, you always take it too far, man.
disqualification and all them things.
It was originally my cousin. My cousin named Preacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
And
Him
good
named
now.
Preacher.
And a good now, though.
Yeah, man. I'm family that, man.
Of course.
Yeah,
What
man.
of Tulox, though? Like, has there been any exchanges outside or on the lab online? Is that
No,
there
man,
now?
me and Tulox great, man. Tulox bright youth now. And if you understand, say, me and Tulox going at it, I learn where, at least me I learn from him. And me I do research where we can put him in place too. So it's just seeing a great mind, and of course it keeps me sharp.
Because as I said, in regards to the whole thief that you actually brought up some salient points in that whole,
Yep.
argument or whatever.
I don't even remember what it was, but I remember being like, yeah, but
it was
he's
about
saying
the whole
the silent
dancer thing.
raver. Yeah. I don't even remember what you said. Listen, I don't remember anything past this week.
No, man, because it's not something where you
My
really
brain.
Well,
interesting.
hold up, like, you know what I mean? We'll talk about it in the
gosh,
moment, and
yeah.
I hope these fans really listen.
No, but you have to understand. So
They're
when you see a great mind like Tulox and Twins of Things, and him a please him audience, him a cater to him audience, and me a cater to my audience. So me, like when we talk about Harvard, me have to show him say, yo, Harvard, they got my youth, say I want slave plantation this. So me have to show him the evidence. Just like when Damion said there's no evidence or no scientific evidence to support
When there actually is.
any link to violent music and violent behavior. Me have to say, yo, teacher, say, so them thing that just me I learn. So me put it forward on my platform, at the same time me I share with my learned people.
But even with that Damion thing, said part of that is politicking, right? Like even what in regards to what he's
I don't
doing
think it's 100% politicking with Damion.
In a
I
way
remember
it
said
is,
Damion
but
fight for the music from long
that
time.
is true. Because him even for our platform and
Right.
even raise some good suggestions in regards to how we should even rate
Right.
music.
If it were somebody else, maybe I say them disingenuous. But Damion and we keep going, calling, saying his name. I think with Damion when Damion party was in power, and he had a meeting that he invited artists. The sad thing about it is I think we were not ready. Yes, what may I say? To argue certain points. So it was like, yo, this man away, knowledgeably in a meeting with some artists where we don't know what him even talk about. We don't know how to take advantage of what him talk about. When him say, yo, him go make it possible so we can bring in equipment and how we can do it and where we can sign up to get these things done. I think it just fly enough away in the meeting because we were not cognizant of the things and we, him talk about. And because in our industry, if you understand, say, me not think that people really idolize people who want education or people like Assassin then. Where is what I say?
In some cases they're ostracized.
Yeah, I think so. When in our society and our world then, when somebody wear education upon them sleeve, we can't wear badness upon our sleeve and it work. And people say, yeah man, I rate the artist, say a real bad man that. But if you say, yo, the artist say a real educated artist that I think so that we not too value that. You see what I say? So back to when Damion used to meet with we. I just think so we were not prepared for take advantage of what him did I bring forward. So if you can look at all articles that he wrote from maybe 2013, where my defend certain policies that he want to change.
But when I say politicking, I mean in this instance,
moment.
because of course he's PNP and the source of
From the
his
JLP.
ire, it would seem, is Andrew Holness. So of course he's going to say, oh, why am I say this so no make no sense? Because
The next party.
He's a part of the next part, yes. That's what I say. In that regard, it's kind of politicking in a sense, because you try to paint the man over this as wrong and of course against dancer, which I have been for. So it's like it's a kind of political move in my mind.
But him genuine, even if that's somewhat true, he's genuine because him have the track record for sure. The receipt them there. For sure, say him and like one of the biggest dance artists in our industry. Like him rate them artists, they like wow. You see him go and him getting dub plate cut and him keep clash and clash with man and all kind of things.
That's true.
You know, musically. So
have you said that you wanted to run, like you have an idea which party you'd want to run on, the ticket that you don't want to
I'm
run?
not sure. Mm-hmm. With me, I kind of respect where I kind of more subscribe to Michael Manley legacy. Based on my research. And based on what Michael Manley did want for Jamaicans. Yeah, poor people. Yeah. But I kind of like Andrew Woolness demeanor. I kind of like him the way how him calculate, you know when I do.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't really have a side. I think so if me I get into anything, do it gotta be for the people them. Or me can better the society.
Funny you said that, because I was arguing with somebody the other day saying that I don't feel like politics now have a identity like it once did. Because like in the 70s, 80s, it was always like PNP is more of a socialist country party versus the JLP was capitalist Western thought, almost like a Republican party. So if you know what the Republican ideal is, that's what they are. And but I feel like the more we get, more we have advanced, is like we realize that those ideology kind of erase, where it's not so entrenched in people anymore. Like the identity of both parties isn't so staunch as it once was. If
and
you
we realize
understand
a lot of the things that we learned growing up were, propaganda. You see me, I said it was just propaganda people, spread.
Yeah.
So we grew up with a narrative and a mindset to say, yo.
Yeah. Where people
like
watching died for people died.
I can remember when I was a yoyouth, I remember things are married. Like them are married, milk and butter.
I remember my mom saying me that, yes.
You understand? So I remember that. Yeah. So
stop it. Don't play it.
Remember vivid memory of that, right? So when you have the images there trapped in your brain, and then you put the story to it, why this did happen. Them say, oh, because Michael Manley that turned the country into a socialist country.
Yeah.
So that gives you some form of false narrative about the situation. Yes, but then you get older now, and it's the same thing with even religion. You understand? Sometimes I say bring on like scatter. And I was a man when we get into religion, when I went into Christianity, I used to burn out scatter.
Yes.
I remember the time I come from the show.
Like mortal enemies.
Right, I used to burn him out, and then me just reach a point. I reached a point when I start, listen to some things when I say, or when I say, man, and I'm starting to move on research. So the same thing with even politics. Some of the things that we learn growing up, how we hear about. Some of them things, if you must do your own research, you realize enough of them things they are propaganda. Yeah, enough of the things that were implemented for change our mindset or give us a certain, let us have a certain mindset. Say this person is for you and this person is not for you. Because
it's not necessarily politics win. It's not necessarily policy win politics. It's really personality. It's like who we like, who's for us, who we can frame as the devil, who we can say is the good guy. That's how politics is.
I think we're going into the era now where the youth them are learn more. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. That them learn certain things. And I spoke about religion earlier on. We have some youth now where I learn some things with my mother and my grandmother. They have as the truth. And some youth I learn them things there now, especially in religion. And then I realize that this is a foolishness. So now them realize they are foolishness. We have nothing, we can't control them. That's a part of what is happening in our society.
In a way.
The youth them get so careless where I say, yo, the man they get so cool. All the man them think so because the youth them now them grow up now. People grow up now.
There's no fear of God.
We have and we hear pastors and preachers and we hear people come on the internet all the time and say, yo, the man them no fear God, them and all them things there. Yeah, why? Because we have social media now. We have smartphones. Things that pop up on the youth them feed. So when them see them things and it don't make no sense what we did believe in and what we did learn growing up.
Because some of them think that even though they may, at least the validity of some things in the Bible may or may not be true, it was used as a sort of tool to keep balance and checks in a society. And now it's like as time go on, it's like as I said, the more information being consumed by people is like them thing they just dissipate. That's my word. It's like all them thing they just distract them. They just go far left now and tell them say, you know what, fuck all of this, me can do anything I want, and you know.
But then isn't that the pendulum swinging, because we were so puritanical, like it's all about God and it's right, and you know, if it's not God, it's devil. Now we're gone to this whole vast extreme where if it's like, what is God? Who is God? God is this.
So you have a youth, right? And you don't want him to do something. So you keep telling him, say, a monster in the bathroom, you know, or a monster go come bite you. And one day him do something and the monster not come bite him.
And you lied to me.
There's no monster. So the people just keep doing it. You never did nurture him from early out. Not to just not do it. And understand why you shouldn't do it.
So share some experience.
No better than that.
So the point I'm trying to make, no, nurturing is more important than any other time. Because the youth them are grow up now, and you can't, the youth them now gonna make them phones smarter than them. You have to understand that. We have phones now we can read for people. You're not even have to read it yourself. We have people sharing stuff. And youth them must see them things there. So when we keep the same you know, programming mentality and start try pass down to the youth, them reject it, and them have nothing to replace that with, where we are try program them with.
And then now they fill it up with the boy that was there with for religion and I guess, you know, strong parenting. Other things take over,
then
like your artist, your favorite artist, your favorite gunman,
crew. When we can go hang out, who we can go hang out with. So people, so remember, say we're social creatures, so we want to conform to different, you know, social group. Fitting in, trying to find a place. So it depends on which social group you find yourself in.
Which align with your values.
Exactly.
So if your value isn't about being aggressive and aggression, you're not gonna go into a gang which is all about killing and murdering, and you know, like if it's all based on your value system.
But some youth end up in a situations where them never even got this things to them that, you know, end up a prisoner. End up being a shutter or whatever, then just end up in a situations. Like the other day, the thing where we see a video on the internet where some man go in a place and shoot a man. And then the man will leave. Me see like the man grab a bun and cheese. I say, yo, you know, the man, they just look like him. He look like him just follow him. He must like him so hungry. And I said, you know, this is a hungry gunman that, a hungry bad man that. So right there, so me I say, yo, something wrong. This is something we're supposed to use and do some form of studies. You know, what happened here? So because you can see that they're like, you know, so when, you know, to your point where I say, yo, a man now go there say if it not fit in values. Some man just want to join a little social group where I say, yo, this
some
school,
sense
you know.
of belonging.
So the key thing there. You understand? So him just join it and the man must say, yo, down the road we are going now. Yeah, man, boy, I don't so and just jump down the vehicle with them.
Yeah, but then I say if they might go down the road and you know so down the road is going to be catastrophe. If it's truly not in your value system, you say, you know what? I'll meet you there. I'll wait for them to do them thing and come up and say,
him just go him now. I don't know
what him
but then
the mindset.
I shop and I go, alright, when I come
them the mind. Them must say, me a little you grow up a country, you know. We call country up in the hills of St. Andrew. And I could have get myself in a problem too. I could have be a prison. Because I see the man that I gamble on the grave at daytime. And when I leave school or when my mother said me go to church, I just gone up on the grave, gone gamble. I wasn't a bad person. My mother grew me good and but me just see it just look like, yo, something cool for do. Until police start run with them, because police is a lack of people, you know, I still lack of people for gambling. So when the police them son them, my mother said me go to church and me up on the grave I gamble. And then police are come. So the police them actually shoot off away for a gamble.
Jesus.
So we are running down some gully and man, the police them fire a gunshot.
Wow.
Was it just gambling?
So, gambling like I play card, 3 card.
Graveyard. Jesus.
Sit up on graveyard I play 3 card.
It's not just gambling. It can't just be gambling.
Probably the police relative grave. They don't gamble
100%. Listen to me. Really? I'm telling you based on experience. You understand?
Thief out your mother money.
Thief out my mother money. You know, the money where she sometimes my lunch money I done it because I not even know for gamble. Me just want belong to a group. Whereas me not the father figure around. Understand? So my father, you know, drop out early out. So I'm a mother alone. So me I try find, you know, some form of, you know, bonding with try bond with the youth them from the community and try, you know, to feel importance. Some importance, you know, have some form of importance.
You remember at what age that was?
Yeah, I think I just started 7th grade. You know, so me about 12,
11,
13.
12, yeah.
You see me I say? So I remember them things and I wasn't a bad youth. I wasn't a bad child. But me just know I could have ended up in the wrong company. My mother used to pepper me. You see me I say?
Yeah, but then that's us. I again speak to the value system. So fine, you fall into the bad crowd, but I always think that nobody not necessarily can force you to do nothing what you don't want to do unless them put a gun to your head or whatever. Or them put a gun to your hand.
You'll be surprised.
In your hand.
You'll
But
be surprised, you know.
I just feel like if your value system don't align with the negative that's happening, you try remove yourself from the situation, and I don't think that's naive to think about. Or you know, I'm not trying to reduce the argument that people end up in bad things because whether them hungry, they won't belong. I'm not trying to reduce the argument, but I'm just saying if their value system don't align with the negative antisocial behavior, you're going to try and remove yourself. Like that's why people try and get educated. People in we see profile is a thing because people who grow up in rough neighborhoods then remove themselves from it and become contributing good productive members of society because the value system don't align with the environment that they were in.
But enough you'd get in and can't come out.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to reduce the argument because we know people get caught up in for several things.
Some you know, like guns are the man around the place. You know, some youth maybe get in and him just tied to it. You see what I say? So that we have to keep that in mind because not for the youth them grow up in the garrison or in the inner city them. And them, as I said, them just want to conform to certain social group and them join certain groups. And them see certain things and them know certain things and them carry out them first look at you know illegal activity.
Yeah. I read somewhere by the time they were profiling a reform gangster, and I think him said by the time him 13, he make 2 dopey, and I'm just like Jesus Christ. And by the time him 17, he's a full blown gangster, murderous gangster, and I'm just like, God damn it, man, like. That's not cool.
Yeah, because at that age, they must say them not really have nothing for live for them. Not them not nothing. So them just capture them at that age.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. I would say with all the gangs in Africa, and capture from young.
And force them to kill. Yeah, I know that.
I want to talk to you about the point of contention between you and Damion Crawford though. And because I have to give you respect for this as well. So you're one of the only artists that I see out there that actually take some responsibility and own up to their part in how society, at least how dancehall artists disseminate messages through their songs. You are one of the only artists I see that actually say are true. We as artists, like them actually look inward and say, we need to do better as artists. I'm just wondering if artists look by you a certain way when they say them things because
I remember I get looked at a certain way.
That's just true.
But face me years like 20 years after that I go through still. So I think I'm immune to that now. And I think is a don't care mentality. I reach a don't care mentality. No, I try to do a little better. I try to more composed in addressing issues. But I think Sissy said something as well, and
why not?
And we understand. We understand why artists would look at me a certain way or try to ostracize me from the community, the dancehall community. But I'm still gonna speak that truth. Yes, I say because me have children. So if me don't want something for my children, them, me don't want it for your children, them. So if me think say certain lyrics when me I can put in my music can influence the youth them, in a violent way, then me no want influence the youth them in the inner city where at a disadvantage. When my youth them a go to prep school and my youth them a go in a school where them not have to worry about certain things. Me not play them song in my house around my children them. So me no want do something where I go hurt somebody else's child. See? So that's what me stand by. And me think say, especially the youth them when them in the infancy. Yeah, when the mind's still in the infant stage. Me think they're more susceptible to the things them where them listen to. Worse, them have it now and repeat.
It's funny when you say that because when people hear, even you met that point, even we met that point, them try to make it seem like we're saying that people are dumb or that we are, at least them paint as classes in a way. Especially you with all their millions, of course. Okay, so you have a certain amount of money and so you feel like say, you're better than these people and that's why them can fall to them thing that you can't. So that's what you're saying. We are no uptown, Harry. That's the thing. And people don't understand say, no, that's not necessarily the point. It's that. So like even the point that Damion Crawford make about the Prime Minister and about if Vybz Kartel can influence him to buy Clarks, that means Andrew Holness should be one of the biggest gunmen then. So no, it has to do with, as we say, susceptibility to certain things and even your value systems as we talk about. So them youth don't have none. And them easily can be drawn into Cartel for buy Clarks. Cartel is talking about these things in a certain way that glorifies it. And I look up to him. So Andrew Holness can say, even though I'm not necessarily through a song making
I'm sure
on the Clarks at the first place.
Is Mr. Holness older than you?
But Mr. Holness wearing a Clarks, I look voting now. That's
the thing. So even that point that Damion Crawford, I think that's any at all.
Sure, he was wearing it before.
Andrew Holness him. You see me?
No, but that was politics.
Exactly. So even if he was influenced by Vybz Kartel, he has a certain value system. So okay, him speaking on this, that don't mean I need to pick up a gun. But the people think that I'm cool for wearing Clarks.
The young kids like Clarks.
I'm gonna wear Clarks.
You're gonna wear
I'm gonna wear Clarks. So I feel like people get them things that twist.
It's a false equivalence.
Yeah,
and it just reduces the argument because you're just thinking because if you do one, you're going to do all. No, not everybody's going to do all. Like your mother tell you to do something, you're not always do what your mother tell you to do, right? For several reasons. For several reasons, right? So I mean, it's just it's just it reduces the argument. It's a false equivalency, almost like I move the goalpost. Like, come on.
I personally just think that artists need to just own up and say, we have influence on the youth. So I mean, I tell them and say, don't sing a song for boss out that. Enough artists, sing them song them and bust out of the garrison and eat food and etc. And some of them, are things where them witness growing up. So they must sing about it. That's why when Andrew Holness says, put it in a context, we could understand what he must say.
Yeah, because
me personally, things like some of the images them when me see some artists put forward in their music videos and then you link that with the song. That me think it gone a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Based on what going on in our society.
Yes.
You see, we can't just look and say we want to solve crime and violence. But then we exclude some things where we're supposed to look at. So
that could be fueling these
things. Is this a contributor? I could check it first. I could do some, research on it. Don't say there were no, research done and there are no correlation.
Yeah, because you look at the song. Welcome to Jamrock by Damion Marley. That song is about badmanism, about a badman culture in
but
a part of it. It's telling a story different from Maraga Fly and you can't park your son and you kill in front of your own mother. And it's just like
gun song for doing gun song sake.
When you listen to some of them songs, and if you really have a soul, like you listen to them songs and you say, I don't really feel like I should be listening to this. Like it just feel weird, like your spirit feel weird.
You have to understand, sister. We in a society where we love badness,
Yes, yes.
We glorify badness in our society,
Yes.
That's what I say the people don't really want to get to that crime and violence. Yeah. If you ever get to that crime and violence, people miserable down here, man. Trust me. We love it, Bridget.
We do. I'm going to bring this up in a care or don't care, the child situation. But even when you see that we'll go out with the youth, Antonio Watson, and you see people staunch defending what I'm doing.
Yes.
It's like, man, I say, yo, we really and truly need a culture shift for real. Because if you see him do that, and then I go bring up what aboutism.
That's
what
the
about
term.
that, and what about, and I say, yo, so if you're just going to bring up, say, yo, this a person did it, and what about when that? When I say, yo, because that person do that means it's right.
And in the grand scheme of things, his gesture is very inconsequential, and we know that it's a figurative.
Of course.
He's trying to do something figurative,
Of
like,
course.
everybody dead, me dead, me kill off everybody.
It's like a non-verbal communication. And him as him competitor, I come close to him, and the only thing could that thing say, yo,
him going a second because I think he did a different thing, didn't he?
Yeah, like my gear down.
It was him doing
and I'm like, that was better. And I get that
you
you're trying to, and because he was trying to create his personality, and him trying to
guarantee you,
thing.
if he was to run that race again, he wouldn't do it again.
He wouldn't have.
Of course, because him done to the heat what for put out a patch.
As me say, some things sometimes place in your subconsciousness where you're not even, it just come forward, just doing itself. You understand?
Yeah.
Without warning. Some things, we witness things, we see things, we dream about them, and we say, what am I dream about that?
Yeah.
That things we place in your subconscious.
And I want to make it clear when we even talk about that, because
I wanted to make it clear.
I want to make it clear, because some people might hear you talk about this and things, say, what? Condemn the youth and want them to cancel and all them things. No. The same approach what you saying about tech with him and even Cecile is the same that we're taking. Is a teachable moment.
Yes.
Just see it, learn from it, not do it again.
And because I'm saying the context never call for it.
Don't call
and
for
that's
it.
why that was my
wild.
issue. That was my issue. If we now want club and party and want gunman song come out, we all pop in the air.
Yes.
The context call for that, but you're in a group setting. Sportsmanship is a part of it. This is one of the things that fostered during champs. That was not sportsmanlike, and I think that was the main thing for me. Like, it's not sportsmanlike. The context never called for it, and I hope that he don't do that. The way him doing him gear down, that was fun.
Yeah, that
did fun. That not have no sort of serious connotation to it, but a gun something there and
I think
You just never know to read the room and read the
Let me tell you
temperature.
what
Well, there was no
picture.
room because there was nobody there.
What went wrong with that picture when he point him finger upon him fellow competitor? That was the part where
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
shoot
yeah,
him
yeah.
and then
because
go
I've seen
select and
basketball players shoot 3-point and then
Yeah.
even when them bring up both,
Right.
what both did, which people may view as even more egregious, but when I look at it, it don't seem that much egregious.
Right, so if he
When
comes
him
off
pull out
adjusting
and then him
right. So if me comes off adjusting Gatlin, bam bam.
exactly
Upon
put
him.
toward him opponent, but people
Because-
say, oh, him shoot after the viewer, so that probably even
Right.
worse. Him trying to toward the camera. I'm like, that I never saw that. Me say,
Okay.
oh, gunslinger in board for shoot off.
Yeah.
And that never as bad to
yeah.
me, even though it could be seen as something what shouldn't be glorified as well.
And you have to understand again, what is going on in our society. The people them like, see something like that. Everything just, becomes relevant.
Yeah.
You see
It
me, I say,
reads differently.
Because them I say, yo, that's why they look cute, them so bad. And that's why they them kill each other. You know, so when them a do, and so everybody does.
Yeah, which I don't
Be very
subscribe to
careful.
that argument. I just saying it's just sportsmanlike. The context never called for it. You never have to shoot it at him, as you rightly say. And it just wasn't sportsmanlike. That was my whole thing about it.
But him just happy and lose himself. I don't think he
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, call for the youth to get cancelled.
Yeah,
as
just
the
lose
people
himself.
are
Man.
saying,
Look at you,
oh,
man. You have to take them and nurture them.
And that's
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
you just learn not to do that again.
Yeah,
that
and I
wasn't
mean,
the
it
case.
probably raised other questions to about them rules and guidelines.
Javi, you are exactly right because there's a decay happening.
Yeah,
with the whole sports system.
What's happening? Because for either make it to that point. Because when I see me now, I say, I want school you this or I want elder. Because the man ear plateau, tattoo pants, skin, man. I say, wait there.
Somebody you them are run
Unqualified.
out of gears.
Yes.
Out of them school colors, them just are run
I
in
take
a gear.
polo shirt.
Me a complaining
Like,
and
is that still
say
run this?
people 2020 cause people never get food do not next last year, so I bear big man and big woman around this
that's
year.
what
Mama tell you last week, so I be a
Yes,
21-year-old like a
I'm
complete. Me tell you
saying.
That people
Unqualified.
repeat,
So
man,
it's
tell
like
you.
them say, oh, yeah, my 20, what him can run, so I him run for the school. So it's like they don't have any rules anymore. What are the guidelines?
Because in a sense, they're representing the school. And I think that's the main thing. That's a good point that you raised, Javi, because you're true, because the guidelines will stipulate that you're supposed to, like, you're a student athlete. So you're supposed to, in a sense, follow the rules of your school, which will transpose into the area, the arena that you're at. So you're right that... Yeah, tattoo and
it's like
tattoo.
come one and all. So when my man go bust blank and whatever now, it's like una complain now. Like, look how far no make the man reach. Him done a compete in a race.
The school feel him.
But is he that
it's a feel him. Holy Patting feel him. That him could be in that position for do them. So
it lacks.
But is he 20 something years old?
No, man.
You just
we don't know.
This is the fix. The fix.
No. I just want to clarify because you know so some people are going to
watch him at 20.
You should have a 21-year-old man there around.
I don't know about that.
We don't want the lawsuit reaching him.
But I was speculating that enough people never compete last year, and some of them for ship out, gone out university. Some I know some 18, 19 the most. Some 20-year-old run already. I know that for a fact. 20-year-old run already. Then just not 20 pound paper, but them are 20.
That already.
Exactly. me know that for fact. I'm not argue with nobody. I'm not complain with nobody. I know that for a fact.
Hey, God. Like over there, Mr. Vegas attacked, and Mr. Vegas have him MV can and talk about almost everything. I want everyone to talk with about certain things. So we don't talk about the youth Antonio Watson and his gun gestures. Care or don't care segment. Shaggy wife upset to Gleaner article. Care or don't care. You saw that
this all over again.
You see that story?
I hear some voice note I go around with her still, but you have to understand, you know, I kind of have a different level of respect for Shaggy and his wife and his family still. So
well, most.
me not even listen to it in depth because I don't really want to have an opinion on it.
Okay.
When we're similar,
That's you.
To be honest, I saw the story, I saw the headline, I read part of it, and I kind of kiss my teeth and me and say,
this again?
This not necessary.
Right.
Like, we already done litigate this last year. We Shaggy done say, you know, it's in an account, and him leave it all over. So him raise the money and him leave it to the bureaucrats and the technocrats and the administrators who run Bustamante Hospital. And I thought that was it. So it pretty much may I read part of the article and I say, but they did say this last year.
Yeah.
What the big deal? Like, what new now? So I was like you too. I'm like, you know what? I don't care.
Don't care.
I don't care.
You think is the Gleaner start trying to start some shit?
I think so, because it started from them last year, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Because based on my understanding, it could just have been that it was that she misspoke, but they're reporting what she said. But them know, so in doing that, you're going to paint her as the villain and paint her as saying something that she didn't necessarily mean. Yes, you report what she's saying, and that is what she said. But you, as a well-thinking person, know that it's very likely that she misspoke.
But then,
and
as
by
a
reporting this now,
the journalist is not supposed to have them feelings
that's
in
the
it.
thing. But that's the thing,
They're
and that's where
supposed to
ethics
report
and
what it is
in journalism and all them things they come in.
But basically, the journalist's voice supposed to still be in it, because him could say like, this is what she said, but from interpreting, you know, there could be some sort of way that say no. I don't want to say, like, yeah, you could have put some context behind it and saying, well, you know, dig further or ask her more if you want to really get the truth behind it and say, wait, are you saying da 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 da? Because this is what I'm going to write, da 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 da, you know?
Yeah.
So.
For further context, people who are listening and watch, it was the point about interest, like him asked if the interest belongs to the foundation. And then she responds, say, everything goes to the foundation. It has always been that way. So when she said that, no, it make it seem like, so the interest accrued from the money being in the account, like that will go to the foundation, and then it kind of make it seem like, say, you know, the Shaggy Foundation involved in shady dealings, which is what them try did a report a couple years ago, and Shaggy don't refute and everything.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the only thing that when I'm not saying that, because it's okay, let me get my point together, because it's two things. journalists have to get to the story. They have to find the story, and that way we need them in order to keep things transparent. We need to know what's happening, and we need journalists to get to the bottom of everything. And I don't think. Really? and I don't think anybody should be what I say no exempt from their work.
Is it poor investigative journalism? Because
he
money is
did
there.
investigate.
Let's ask Mr. Media Man now. The man have him degree now. What says you?
You said degree, Vega. No, but then I say like no one should be. But the point is, my thing is only the kids will get shafted because she says she want to pack up and leave. Shaggy look like he almost vexed like him and say,
being vexed. Can the fire shots in a song at them?
Yeah, me not have to do this. But and the kids suffer.
I think if the evidence is there, you just need somebody to just confirm that any argument.
Which they did.
I think let me tell you something. What Shaggy may be going through. Because as a person who put on a charity show here already before. Seeing? And how much work you have to put into it.
You don't get money from it.
Shaggy doing this for years, Trust me, it's not a joke thing to put on a concert in Jamaica.
Yeah, I know that.
You see me I say?
It's a big
so
show.
Maybe sometimes I kept a charity show and I lose. What about money?
Wow.
So picture me lose $300,000 and then somebody say, me rob some money. And so the first time you keep the show, maybe the second and third time we make some money. But people don't realize, say, me keep the show and lose my money, So now people have that question, say, like me rob the money when I raise to these people.
Yeah.
So Shaggy, I've seen over the years how much work Shaggy put into this. It's not easy. And him use him contacts. Him get Larry Neal them, him get all of the artists them to come in to perform. And I think him and Sharon Burke put, they do a heck of a job. Or they did a heck of a job to get these artists to come here in Jamaica and perform, maybe even for free. Or maybe at a lower fee than the artist in charge. So to hear somebody trying to tarnish a name,
that's
a journalist,
board.
I think that is what is affecting the wife. The children are getting older, and Shaggy, knowing that he's a true, humanitarian, he must say, yo, what is? Me not have to do this. You see me
and in the end, the kids get shafted.
Yeah.
Because it begs the question, why? I've always wondered why the hospital not using the money. Because they get the money. It's in the so why them not use the money?
It's not that clear cut.
upgrade.
It's not a clear cut. I remember when I was doing my charity show, I went to the Spanish Town Hospital, and I saw so much, things that should be addressed. And I try to let the Spanish Town Hospital be the beneficiary from the proceeds from the show, and it was just so much red tape we have to go through. Man, just to help a corporation, help an institution, you have to go through so much red tape.
Like what?
You see me? I said, link up with a person, you have to go to that person, and one more person around there, so you have to go sign on documents, you have to go get this, and it was just a whole thing.
So difficult.
So when I tried to do it for the Mustard Seed community, red tape again, you have to go through so much, it's just difficult to deal with. So I understand,
even the issue with this
frustration.
This particular hospital is that the foundation was set up to get beds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they have to
and
they need to expand to have space for these new things that the money would go towards. Or even that leave a go on it.
It's not that clear cut, man.
And that's why Shaggy kinda in a situation because it's
but from all understanding that I gather, the money turnover, he does not have the money. So who have the money for do what them for do with the money?
Maybe the money, and some people can use the money and that cause problem too. So,
you know what I say? Jamaica need an efficiency portfolio. I think we have a problem with doing things slow. Like with you're right with the bureaucracy. Like me not give no $100 million for nothing. But I think to go to tax office. You ever go to tax office and you have to go one place, forget one thing, and then you have to go to another place, forget another thing, and then you have to go back to the point, the first place where you go forget it.
Here, pay here,
and I'm just like,
bro, just stress out that you know I talk about that.
Bro,
first of all, I can't even find parking.
PTSD.
It just, I think that is one of the things that we really need to figure out, because Jamaica, the 2030 vision was for a place to work and do business, and you can't do business like that when everything just jumble up and run up and down. There's no efficiency. That activity that literally takes 10 minutes, it take you a whole half of your day for complete one single transaction. Like me, I remember trying to renew my driver's license early last year. This was before Corona. January 2020, before Corona hit in, and I reached 11 o'clock and I never leave till after 5 for just one thing. One thing.
Drivers like,
trust me, Jamaica should not be so hard.
But that's why, as I said before, we're not educated, so I want to try step up to them.
I'm not like you. I don't have no plans to get into politics. Me, I leave people alone.
It's not politics. I don't think it's just politics.
Nope. I tell people all the time, if God did tell me about Corona, everybody would have dead. I not have no time for change nobody's mind. Like, if I try to do something and you go in my way, I go around you. And if you go in my way still, we got in an argument. So just avoid me, please.
But I want the future still. I want to go make them changes.
Not me.
Alright, Mr.
it's gonna
Vegas.
take a lot of effort.
Mr. Vegas, we try and we get told about our mother's court, so.
But it's not spice around them department.
I didn't even just see.
I didn't even see.
Oh, good.
So you get other people.
You see Mr. Vegas and other people tell about other things. We want to try open their minds towards certain. They say we need a culture shift. They tell us suck on the mother, on the uptown, on the classes. That them tell me. Real thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Big up, squeak.
That's right.
I think a lot of people intimidated by you guys.
From you, say no, Mr. Vegas. From Mr. Vegas, say so. Yes.
I remember, when you corner, like certain wild, it's gonna get defensive. And it's gonna get defensive. So you have to be careful. Yeah, misread where you really get back from the people. Sometimes I just people intimidated by you, by your presence, true. By the way you speak.
And I've seen that, Yeah. But me can't say that because they must have my eye. Some that man say you can say that. Me cannot say that. We see, but make it outwardly say that.
I can guarantee if you did a deal with badness, like certain, with certain vibe, you'd get people have been more receptive to you.
But it's not me. That's not just not me.
But you have to understand. As I said before, always keep in mind, say our people, went through years of programming. So that's why when people burn me out in the mind, say, yo, what Vegas still a chat? Vegas chat too much. It does not affect me. Because I understand, say, years of programming. Religion, politics, all of them things, people just get programmed over the years.
Vegas, just make we just be. Like, that's what I say, you need to be like me. Like, make people die. Like, don't change people's mind. Let us die. Let them die. Eat cake, motherfuckers. I don't care. I'm telling you. It's better for your mental health.
In charge of the ark in the trouble.
I'm telling you.
Cat get saved from the cute cat.
Nope.
Arian, where are my people?
They're dead. Me try, they never want to listen.
It's not my fault.
I feel like that sometimes still, like, just let them stay in the program.
Yeah.
But then I think you're just saying that because you're maybe upset or you're frustrated.
No, it's not that, like, legit. But then wasn't that my thing from last year?
Yeah, it was like it's like a thing where she let it go now.
Yeah, but
let them do what they want.
From last year frustrated, from year before last year frustrated.
Like even the argument you do at Damion Crawford, it's like, we've been at about them things, we've been at say the things what you want to say till reach a point. You know what? Everybody think what they want, think what they listen what they want, listen. You see me, we don't think what we think.
Just don't kill me.
Stop and try to preach to you. You know what I mean?
When I kill you, don't kill me.
Who want to get it? Who doesn't?
Make them dead.
Cool. Alright, big up shout outs now. We're done big up Javi on our twins. Happy first B-Day to Olympia Bolt, the princess of Jamaica. You know what I mean? That's royalty right there.
Princess Bolt.
Big up both. Big up Skilly and Nikki collab reached number 1 9 countries on Apple Music, the most for any song on her re-release Beam Me Up Scotty. Nick
Really?
Yeah.
But
Number 9 in Caribbean countries.
something green. Oh, you mean in the Caribbean territory?
Yeah, but it's the most number 1
Well,
in the most countries being number 1 in. You get that?
okay.
So it's the most songs. So it's the most. It reached number 1 in 9 countries. The most for any song from the mixtape.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Get that now?
Okay,
So,
because
yeah.
on YouTube,
All of them are Caribbean
something
countries
green
still,
is 5.6 mil,
Yeah.
and Crocodile Teeth is 1.6 mil on YouTube. I don't have Spotify and
Yeah.
Apple numbers, but
But in regards to how much countries it is number 1 in.
so that is the record that we're celebrating.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Indeed.
Okay, got it.
Digging that up.
Okay.
Even though they're all just Caribbean countries.
Yeah.
But it's the most.
Well, of course, I mean, yeah, I would think
Yeah.
that
for
the
any
Crocodile
song
Teeth
from
would
the-
respond
from the
positively.
mixtape,
Big
yeah.
ups.
Big ups. I will also have to big up Alkaline. He secured the number 1 spot for the most streamed album on Audio Mac. Currently number 1 on Amazon Music right now. On their best-selling album chart. Mr. Vegas, you posted support for the album.
I want to give him a real loud big up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think you see when an artist put out an album, right?
Yeah.
We're putting out a body of work or a piece where your fans them come into mind first. Yeah, and people you say, okay, people are gonna love the album, yeah, but you see your fans them come to mind first, and you say, okay, my fans them are gonna love that change, yeah, a different sound, yeah, and people, sometimes you put out an album and you play with sounds. So the album might not sound like something what we expect, but maybe the fans them welcome the change. You understand? They hear the artist with something significantly different from when I'm accustomed to. So if fans are willing to go up on a journey there with him, you see, I don't see why, especially like I say artists, I just find it weird, like some way like people that really like people in the business will understand, say, yo, this is the man body of work. So even if me not get along, I'm gonna rate him like, in personality, or me think same he's a man to keep himself to himself and him not really, vibe with the other artists. Them maybe I feel personality that.
Yeah.
Me used to burn him out when me used to be Christian, and he used to wear a shirt with Lucifer because me did. Them telling me they did
I'm laughing. They say you used to be a
Them
Christian.
telling me they misinformed about a lot of things. So me did more judgmental them time there. So me that did burn him out and thing. But outside of them things there, even me as a Christian right now, me that still respect him work. Because remember saying, when a man go in the studio work upon an album, you talk about musicians, brother. You talk about writing, you talk about engineer and mix.
Engineer, producer.
A lot of work going to that. So when we see people in the music business, in the industry, when we go to them way for bring down the whatever he might get from the album, all of the appellation we might get from the album. I think it kind of weird to me still.
It is weird to me as well. And people may think we're hypocrites for saying that, but it truly is weird to us because we have acknowledged at least the work what him been put in over the years to where he's seen at a certain level.
Yeah.
We give a review of the album. We don't think it's the greatest thing ever.
Right.
But we acknowledge that there are good songs on the album. Till I think we're all consensus agreed, say, it's a solid body of work. 7, 8. That's how we review it, right? And some people have it said because we didn't, or we don't consider it the greatest thing on earth.
Right.
And because we were like you, we used to bash him for certain things in the past. There's some ulterior motives in giving the album that score and not seeing it as the masterpiece.
But you're just doing your job as a person in that field, critiquing the album. people who are not.
Explain to them, please, Mr. Venus, please.
And the thing is, the criticism wasn't necessarily about the production or even the songwriting. And my main gripe was the structure
And
of the album, the
and
sequencing of the album, and the tone of the album. That was my main concern.
Maybe that was deliberate though.
Well, it
Maybe
never
it was deliberately done.
translates.
But the thing is,
Well, to
even
me-
if that is the case,
Right.
we are give our opinion on how
Exactly.
it make
Honest
we feel.
Exactly.
You see me? So we may not have felt it on that level that maybe an Alkaline fan or maybe any other person may have felt it. I would just give our opinion. And then I got people out there that say, you know, haters and you know this and you know that. And
You may go in some countries and the album, you know, the songs and from this album may just be like in biggest song that we ever released.
that is
Which
true,
is-
and we've
which-
seen that whole heap of time.
Whole heap of time.
Whole heap of time.
So sometimes we don't get the hardcore. Him a bun or two artists man him album and people did that expect him to go and you know spit some fire against all some other artists and talk about things. But maybe him just tone it down a bit because him want to reach us maybe mature now.
Right.
I
But
wonder
then-
I wonder what led you to post that outward support. Is it that you saw that maybe they are wrongly bashing me in the past and you say, oh, let me show me support for this youth who I may have wrongly bashed in the past or what?
No, me just overall respect when people go into the studio and put the time and effort into producing their albums or EP. Me just respect that. My post program and bugle them and it on them album.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and of course maybe that played a role into me posting that because I think, as I said before, me used to be judgmental when you know speaking about this youth because him just come out and him doing things different. Him say things where we run from lightning. We hear him say certain things or see him do certain things. I say, yo, God, I got to light to him now. And we see him come do it and him get lightning and we say, oh God, no light him up. So then we go do our research.
To God, Lord God, light him up now.
Yeah, so
Like, me a Christian now.
Guys
And you know what's
said,
sad?
leave
You know
me
what's sad?
out of
You know
this.
what's sad? When you're into like Christendom, it's like I think we wish things will happen to people for prove the existence of
Yeah.
man, me say,
of God. Like we say, yo, what let him do? Yo, watch how God are gonna lick him now. And then you know when you grow now and you start say, yo, but why me I wish that on the man star? Or why me I wish that on the woman? You know, that's a fair and God business if there's a God way. Them subscribe to or you subscribe to. So I just over the years I just think so people just grow and people just get mature and people learn. So things when me used to be critical about, we're not critical about them.
Even in regards to your thoughts on Alkaline.
Yeah, of course. Because me respect him as an artist. Yeah, me no must rate him like or be a fan. But me as a person of the industry, me as an artist, when me I go put out an album and burn out a man album. You understand me? I say, me just find that clash. Yeah? Me find that.
Especially you as an artist, as a creator.
100%. So if me could have post every artist album on my page and wish them well. Like Yakstar come out with him EP. I say you like Yakstar one of the youth them when me say him humble and you know me watch him move from just a try bust to him get a tune now and me just glad for him. So me just love to post him EP if he come out tonight. Just to see him get some numbers and some traction.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because at the end of the day, you are of dancehall, and if his
100
album should say it go number one on Billboard, that's a good look for dancehall.
100%. And when it comes back to when we are say, yo, I could look into the lyrical content where we put forward to the youth them and see if we can make any adjustment. People think say, oh yeah, fight against dancehall. When if you fight against
No,
dancehall,
I look on the bigger picture.
no, we are because we that obviously dancehall reach certain level. You know, remember say we come forward from long time we get burn out feet and we say stop make Drake and the man come exploit and go and like say them do something for you. And me get whole heap of get all fire from one too. You see me I say? Yeah man. And then me and then guess what now?
Because remembers everything.
No, it's stored. but look now.
But
It
I
makes
do
sense
remember
now.
that.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because when me did a fight for say, yo, when an artist come to Jamaica and do a song we don't know or sample no work, if them are gonna get other artists from other territory, any artist feature, Because you have people give you credit, you know. But you have features where when artists stream a certain amount and when the artists stream go up, the volume I go show up on your Spotify too. You understand? But if your name not featured with the artist name, you see what I say? So case in point, Barrington them and Buju them now. On Khalid album, the numbers where Khalid get I go stream and you type in Buju now. Maybe this song is Buju's biggest song on Spotify.
Maybe.
Because the numbers will Khalid a move. So when your name is attached to another artist name, especially an international artist, we have a wide fan base.
Like we see with Skilly and Nicky now and that.
Exactly. So them thing and people burn me out. But come now and check it now. Everybody wants stream. Everybody wants the numbers. Everybody has said numbers don't lie. So when me did I say, yo, make certain sound to get on a little feature. And don't make nobody just come go and them do a favor because you know, we have a sound. We're important. We pump us just like any other culture where them not going to in a jar and go use nobody.
True.
And make it work for burnout feed. You see me I say? So when it comes down to dancehall music feed me, take me from sleep on floor. You know, and I have nothing to walk and I have not my mother walk and wash people clothes and not take care of me. And I give me money for buy food. So me know what dancehall do for me. So me that love to see the dancehall music reach to a level where, yo, we get to respect the artists them a stream, the artists them a come together more and do music. And not only have to wait until Khalid come down here or Drake them come down here till we get together. You can't call some man on the phone and say, yo, me run to the studio, I come do a song. Some man, too much divisiveness in a dancehall and we have such a small industry. But we have a whole heap of talented youth. So if we blend them sound here together, we are going to stream more. You see me I say? So we not fight against dancehall. I mean, we would not, as I say again, would not hear a youth or see a youth put out him work, like an album, an EP, and me go say, yo, I idiot album that. That is like,
and some
break
that
the
without
code.
even listening to it.
That a break the ethic code we're supposed to have in the music.
Like an unspoken
is like,
code between
yo,
artists.
that is no matter if you don't like the artist, no matter if me and the artist not get along.
Better you not say nothing.
Better me not say nothing. Worse, me I go put out an album. No, if me see artists do that, me that want campaign against for them album. I say, yo, good for the goose, good for the gander.
I also don't want them eagle and them V emoji there in your comments too though. So,
Well, me immune to that now. So me I say, it's like, me immune to COVID.
it's a funny
I
thing.
think about that I don't want to know. We're gonna get you.
So they're just like, we're trying to get Pfizer, Moderna.
The problem I'm gonna make, like, even with our fandom, I will say we're gonna do a live on this because we see like there's a problem with our fandom, dancer, because it's so tribalistic.
Yes.
They will not look on that, even what you just say about dancer doing well, you know. Them just want to know, say, my artist is doing better than your artist what you support over there. And so then can go up online and argue and
Who are the bigger person? Who are around the place?
Exactly.
And then you check them numbers. I'm streaming. My monthly listeners on Spotify is like over 1 million. And I've not had a big tune since Broke It Down, like a monster tune. We have some tune that get some play. We have tune that go on good in the Latino market. Like me have So High with over 20 million views. Never play at Jamaica yet, but
So to flex.
me still a stream without being current. You see what I say? So what that mean? That means that the money we around the place then, them supposed to stream more than me. So if me can have 1 million listeners monthly, that means that them new youth are supposed to have 10 million and 20 million and 100 million. But what we are doing wrong? We now come together. We now bring your million with my million. You see me I said the Latino artists them do that. 5 of them on one track. Nicky Jam, Daddy Yankee them, so forth and so on. Them just they're Puerto Rico right there so. You see me I say? Or them they're Dominica right there so. Seeing?
Well, here it's
We have more artists in
my artist I do this, your artist go suck your mother.
100%, and that's the divisiveness, and it's been hurting us over the years. And guess what? We have some fans on the internet, them boots up them artists with them rate, and I know said them doing that and just I guess of some artists for bring down other artists, tear down other artists that have killed the industry, and it's been killing the industry over the years.
Speak on it, Mr. Vegas, please.
So if the fans them care about the music, that means you're not even care about the music. You see, if you
They don't, because they don't buy it.
Right. So
seeing in the sales.
Exactly. And we not buy it, and we tell other people to buy it. That is what I can understand. You not support the youth album. You not go buy it. Why you tell somebody else to buy it? It's like me put up a shop and because you not rate me, you tell people to buy from me. And then go buy from the shop there.
Yeah.
That will cause some form of tribal war. And that is the reason why our industry, and then man and man start go at it and man start feud and we have to get bad man for protect whoever which part we go because we are man of vibe. And them thing that when we reach a stage where we used to suffer and all kind of things and now we are make money in the music and we just like enemies against each other. Like me, I'm a big man, I'm a big old man now. Me not have time for that, brethren.
Yo, Mr. Vegas, I'm of a similar mind. Yo, may I start get grey here,
Start.
Me still come to grips.
Our industry
like,
full of
I don't care.
Yo, big up your
I'm
guy.
not gonna expend so much energy in hating these artists like how some people are saying. Like Javi, they have twins. I'm sure hating on artists, they are the very back of our mind right now when you have twins on the way.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't. Like, it's neither here nor I can't even say it's neither here because I ultimately want dancehall to do well.
Right.
But for the expend the amount of energy to hate something, like how them try to paint us into say we hate things, like I don't have it in me right now. I don't. I don't.
Let them die.
Podcast like let them die. I don't. So like when them do these things, we're going to speak on it or big them up. I will critique them when we say they will critique for God. That's how it is.
Well, if I understand enough, it will take some mature minds.
Yeah.
If you really can relate to what I say, I understand what I say. It's what I say, and we just have to listen. I just think enough of we have to grow up. It's what I say. When we look back on where we are come from as youth, where we are come from, enough of we never have enough food. Or we have money now and we are getting so much problem and have problem with each other and we are going
More
jail
money,
and
more problems.
all of them things. Like you look a blessing where I get, a little blessing where I get, we just dash it back. You see me I say, and people we have to, somebody must step forward and speak on these things. The whole dancehall industry, we need somebody, we need a spokesperson. Somebody where just talk and not care. You understand? So if you know what, yo, we're not going to just listen.
Who wants to be the martyr?
Well, if you're going to do it for the better good, you see me I say, if it's going to be for the better good of the industry, well, me be the martyr. You see me I say? But if it have to worth it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Don't
like,
it? I mean, things say,
sometimes feel like you speak to those ears and them done. As I said, them cast you as the villain and the antagonist in their story. So what is
for too long, just like a few voices in the dancehall, where the people them just rate and respect no matter what them say, what them do. The people them just rate them and no matter if them wrong or right. We just need to come to a point. We need to come for a general consensus. So we say, yo, we the fans them. We the artists and we want a better industry. Or we can have a better industry. Me, everybody. You see me I say? We need to vibe more. We have social media now. Let me show you how divisive we are. You have some people in my industry, in the dancehall industry. Like some man mother dead and you not even see a man say, yo, condolences because. But the next man mother dead and the whole industry, yo. So what happened to the man, the mother? With that divisive in a brethren, we're so against each other, you know. We not even realize, say, yo, the man, the mother dead, and nobody not even say nothing about it. Or the artist, the mother dead. But the artist, the mother dead, and everybody a ball, everybody a say condolences. That's how we are. We're not a family brethren.
It's not even a dancehall thing in certain respects. It's a Jamaica thing. It's a cultural thing.
But speaking of, we speak on dancehall. Show you we're not like a family unit. And we need to grow up. And I say we because me a part of it too. So
yeah, because I feel like you have to talk about me too. Because me let people die.
Yeah, you never go.
So I say.
So, you know, I mean, I don't mind like saying, but sometimes I just think that like death is such a personal thing, like, you know, nothing that you say I got ever cause any sort of
Change.
comfort. Not change, but comfort. So, you just send your best thoughts, but I try not to say anything, especially when you speak on death. I don't. That's just me personally. Yeah.
I think that's just a cycle. Maybe I look upon it and more like it's an illusion. So maybe that's why I feel that way about it.
Probably. Yeah, I don't really like change and finality like that. So yeah, probably.
You need that therapist.
I know, right?
Speaking of enemies, Mr. Vegas, there's a topic I've been meaning to speak to you about. Your fallout with Sean Paul, if there was even a falling out, or if there's even still a tiff between the two of them. What happened there? Because whenever I see Sean Paul go on platforms, whenever Sean Paul go on platforms, I usually see people coming. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about division and all these things. Make we start this out. Whenever I see Sean Paul go on platforms, people them say, oh, Sean Paul no praise. Why Sean Paul no praise Mr. Vegas as... Yes, we need to give Mr. Vegas more big up on all them things there. First of all, do you feel that way?
No.
Okay.
I don't think him need to big me up. I think I create a career where, I've done well, but I not really feel bad if Sean Paul big me up.
Okay.
Or feel left out. You see what I say? One thing I can say though, I think his label destroyed the brotherly vibe we me and him did have.
Which was
so
Atlantic?
Too little youth just a boss.
Atlantic?
No,
it's VP.
His company, his company that he was signed to. Yeah, I think that got destroyed through record label, through maybe management, them thing, the misunderstanding, people them around Sean, and maybe my hearted too. Because I'm the type of person where, if people around me, I think I'm a great human being, but when it comes down to business, I want to protect mine. Yeah, I'm a stay them with it from a long time. That's why from I just start make money, I just start say, yo, I can't invest. I have people around me where advise me how to invest. So I buy a land, getting construction and them things there. Just to have something to show. So once you come across...
Wait, stop. It's true that you own like some apartment buildings for real?
No, I'm into real estate. Like I have a project to start at Wellington now with like a 6-story building.
I heard something like you're big into that and yeah.
My father was a builder. My cousin them and everybody, they're builders. So that is I think that is genetic. But with Sean, I think the whole vibe with me and Sean Paul, because of outside influence. Outside influences mess up the vibe with me and Sean Paul. And I think it cannot be repaired.
You don't think it can?
No.
Why not?
You understand?
Even though you've seen so mature.
Yeah, and it's been so long and you mature and all these things.
You seem to a better mind.
I don't think it can be. I don't think so though. I still feel like there's a bit of distance between me and him. Musical distance. You understand? Like, me not see my work on a project and him that say, yo, me I link Vegas. You understand me? I say, so sometimes I want to say, yo, Sean Paul do an album with 21 artists. So me link me.
But would you be receptive to it if he did reach out to you?
Of course. But that is just my thoughts. Like, to me, me I say, yo, what if the artist still a pre from so much years ago? Because remember me say something where hurt a man a certain way. You understand? So some people don't get over things. But as for me am one of the biggest fan of his work. I'm glad for him. I'm glad to see him, yo, in a youth when me and him started out basically the same time. And him went on to have like Billboard tune, and do song with all of the big names in the music industry.
Because as the story goes, and we just want to recall the story and give proper context, was that you have Hot Girl today out, right? And that something called for the song to be redone and videos to be reshot, or video to be reshot.
Right.
And at the time you were signed to Greensleeves. Sean wasn't signed.
Right.
And this is what I've heard is that they reached out to you and you and your label said, yo, 30 grand for make me do that video over. And them never take too kindly to that because them say, oh, we've been a grind from how long, and then now for you, for a big league we like this, we kind of feel away. So, we just shoot the video without you.
Well, if it's 30 Jamaican.
No, it's 30 years.
I watched something the other day where a man put a line of people. And them start the line with one person do something, and by the time you get to the top of the line, everybody do something different. The man will end with that do something totally different from the man that started. So, with that said, there are a lot of stories out there with that situation. But none of them is true. None of the stories out there is true.
So what is the true version?
According to you.
I went around Steele. I was up by Jeremy Island and I get the melody. Right? And I had the melody and I was like, Dan Utes. Yo, I could do a tune like Cocotti and Shabba. Which one of them should love. So Dan Utes was like, yeah man, write it. And I was like, I'm to the man, Sean, hear the idea. Yeah. So I went around Steele and I recorded the song with Sean Paul. I went around and Steele wanted me to do the song by myself. I said, no man. I have a DJ, him bad. Him sound like Super Cat. I say, who that? I say, I'm give me a Sean Paul. Steele bad me for go record the song. I said, no man, wait till him come. So I'm forward. So we do the song and the song I go and go do a video in Jamaica. You know, I get to look.
Yeah,
who come up with the melody? Who come up with
me,
that,
man? See,
I hear a different story, Mr. Vegas.
Listen, you're not hear no different story.
No, I do.
You're not hear no different
Does
story.
the name Garth Bennett ring any bells, Mr. Vegas?
You know, so that name the ring a bell.
Yeah.
That name the ring a bell.
Because I'm hearing that a certain Mr. Garth Bennett, who may or may not be related to Hyacinth Bennett,
which may or may
jokingly came up with the melody. And they were hanging around you guys. Somebody who sang around.
Who names so though? Who names so? Is it an artist?
No.
Who's that person?
Yeah, are you being serious, Mr. Vegas?
No, 100%.
Okay. He's a pilot. And you know Hyacinth Bennett.
All right. You see, if there's a brother that says something like that, maybe it's not accurate about the melody, but in all honesty, somebody walk into the studio that night and said something. It wasn't a melody. The person said something. I was the one who came up with the melody.
The melodiousness of what he said.
Right. I might, say melody, I'm a melody king. Right? Them telling me I catch melody out of the ear.
Because it was said that he came up with...
The person said something.
Yes, and then you say,
100%. So now that you said it, but in terms of the melody, the person walked up in the yard and said something, and it's a good thing you said, because for years I try to remember where the person come to the yard and said.
Sometimes those things just last to memory.
I get in trouble with that in Phantom Moja, Phantom Moja walk in at the studio yard one day and say, I just love me, I use and go around them, I may say, yo, that body, and do a song name. I love and go around them, and the brother burned me out some teeth himself. But he said it.
Yeah.
And you make him turn a fire king, Mr. Vegas. Is that the genesis of that?
So, based on my personality, if Phantom reach out to me and say, yo, I mean, you hear the idea from me, I just say, yeah, that's a real thing you thought, man. You want the publishing?
Like how you do with me and the boxing idea. I'm going to say, I'm going to be some kind of
So in all honesty, a gentleman walked up in the yard that night up at Jeremy and said something. I remember when he said, but the idea triggered something, and I said to Daniel, would say, yo, I could write a song like Shabba and Home Tea and Cocoa Tea. So the whole thing, came about right there, right then. So it's I don't know the brother name and thing, but something along the line. So
I guess you had a gripe against Sean Paul when it would seem like the gripe should have been with Clevie and...
No, we're not going to get into that, man. No, we're not even getting into that, man. We're getting the synopsis.
All right, cool.
So what me I say to you is, when the song are going good and everything, my career take off, and what I said then, I was like more international than Sean Paul because me have head in the British chart and the Billboard chart. So me I travel more, so forth, so on, went on tour, me and Sean Paul, so forth. So then Steely called me one day for re-record the tune. Pan the Punani rhythm. I can't go tell Steely 30,000 and I never record me again, brother. You're crazy. Steely. Him not run out of the studio. If I told Steely 30,000, because who me that charge then for do anything? It has start with Steely, me that say pay me for record it over. So when
you
Steely
did not
come,
tell anybody say 30,000 for do over a song or shoot.
You're crazy, brother.
Reshoot no music.
You're mad. Hold on, I'm gonna get this story.
Alright.
I put this to rest.
Alright, that's the one.
I'm gonna put this to rest. If I see grabber, see, watch this now. When Steely come for record the song, they have to put on the rhythm. I said to him, say, yo, I want it for my album, you know. Him say, yeah man. Because I'm a businessman from morning. Yes, so I say, I put my Ed's album together. I never depend upon, like what Sean Paul they do when I put film album together. I say, yo, don't make VP collect the song them for you. You record for the producer them. Tell them say you want the song for your album. So that means say nobody can come tell us say them pay X amount to get the songs them. So me went around and say, yo, I need the song for my album because when not give me no royalties. Right? So when Steely asked me to re-record the song, I said I need it for my album. I was putting up my second album at that time. So I say, yeah man, I don't have no problem for do it. So I did it. He said, yeah, I can get it, and I did it. So I'm at the airport one day and Sean Paul I go do a shot in Panama. And I see me that 12-inch. So him say, yeah man, so the new release here, you know. So I take the 12-inch and look on it.
Just be clear, Mr. Vegas. When they say 12-inch, so
CD.
you know they're the man. Vegas, I'm trying to help you here.
We're into streaming. What is a 12-inch?
People don't know what you're talking
Yeah, but
about.
that's semantics, man. We are talking serious business. We are talking serious
No,
things.
but no,
And
seriously, it's like a
them-
CD.
It's a record, man.
It's a
but-
record. See,
And
see how you-
them need to go do the research on that. You can't leave it up to the people who might do the semantics.
Yeah.
So when we see him with the 12-inch
Okay.
record, yeah,
For clarity.
him say, boom, it's my new single here. So me take it and me say, hot girl today, Sean Paul.
Like, I know
So me
this
say,
song.
what my name there?
Oh, you say you know this song.
So he grab it back from me. He grab it back from me and like at the first time I see it now. So I say, for real? So I don't say nothing to Sean. The argument dead there, so I call VP. I said, Brethren, I want to have my name on the song. And me and the man do the song. When we did at Jamaica, I did a song, I wouldn't know nothing about it. And as a matter of fact, Steely promised to give me to my album because I remember say Green Steve in a different territory.
I think he's England, British.
In England,
Yeah.
right? So I was not even planning to compete with the US release. Yeah. So Christian said no, I can't get it. So I say, well, if I can't get it, I can't release it. So them say, no, we can. We get it. I say, so you have to release it on the paperwork from me. Them say they don't need no paperwork from me. So I say, for real? So them went ahead and released the record. Without Vegas name on it.
I try to get
Without-
the timeline of things because Sean, as I recall the story, was not signed to VP as yet.
No man, he was signed, man.
He was signed.
He was signed. This was his second single.
Okay.
Cause them did deport them, but at least at the tune where the radio interested now.
Yeah.
Cause them a look at radio, them a look at a record for break him at radio.
Yeah.
So they wanted to go with Sucky Ducky, with Tony Kelly produced, or Hot Girl Today. So me that still be apartheid, so me never make no fuss about it. So me wouldn't turn down getting a
So
radio
there was
record.
no refusal by Greensleeves or you at the time to reshoot the music video.
No, Green Steve, poor Green Steve, don't know about that. And why would they stop it? Me never signed to Green Steve. I've never signed a contract with no form of, no record label we deal with dancehall music because
So Green Sea was like
I was
what,
at
your
the-
distributor or
distributor.
something? Oh, okay.
I've never signed any contract with any of these reggae labels. Cause VP and Green Steve are reggae labels, Jetstar.
But then from the story that you're saying, it's clear that Sean didn't even know about it because he gave you with the intention of like trying to share it, but then when he saw it, he's like, shit.
Here was for me and Sean getting a problem now. Right? After Christian said, I can't get it. So them shut me down. Sean Paul see me at a show, me and him on a show in New York, and him say, yo, we shoot the video tomorrow, you know. I go link you. So me stay back in New York and I wait on him to link me. Yeah? So me I call him phone and the phone ring, boom, I call back and the phone dead. So the next thing me see after that, is the video come out with my name in the video, my name no there, and some girl that sing my part. I lip sing my part. so you people, you have no, you want to get to know me over the years, right? Picture this before social media. Even though social media only about some wicked fire for me. Because I want to get a different story and I say, yo, do you care? When it means something to me, it means something to me because now we are talking about my legacy, my youth, them future, everything. So you are threatening now my legacy. So I see I'm on it and I get up and I turn on the BT and I say, this song I come on and I see some Puerto Rican looking girl Yo, it licked my chip. BT used to come on.
At least the girl them look nice still, but Jaja.
Yo, BT. When you come from BT, them time that means something in the bird.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, wake up and turn on all my TV and hear and yeah, you can't go away.
Yo, we can't laugh then about
No, me say social media did about them time.
I say MV car.
Me think said
right away.
No, them that ban me out of music. Because I still think one of the worst thing happened to me in the music.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yo, that one thing, man. Wow. They remember say me and Sean. Remember say me go and stealing and actually beg the man say, yo, can't left off the DJ. We have to wait for him. Remember say when Sean Paul in the studio voice, Steely want run out the man, because Sean Paul's a man take long for voice, since years, I want 30 grand, the most hear that too. Him the perfectionist, Yeah. So no disrespect to him taking him time. I just say the whole reason what we do. Just null and void, and then yes, so alone people are going interested.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's been a question out there that I've seen. I always want to say, whenever we talk to Mr. Vegas again, or even Sean, I ask you about this because it's something that I see out there.
Yeah, because there was a recent article, right?
But to be honest though, knowing me, years after make me hear through the pipeline, say yo, Sean did have to do that, he did have to lock off his phone,
Because I guess
because them that dropping project. Me wouldn't want them dropping project.
Allegedly, Mr.
You understand me? I say, me that still fight to get my name on the project. And this is true because Robert Livingston is a man I have mad respect for. Robert Livingston look at me and say, if I were your manager, the situation it'd fix. You understand? So I just want my recognition out of the thing.
Yeah, so what your manager did do at the time, like he never had anybody?
Because I think he was bullied by people like the people them were in the business. Robert Livingston seasoned, So him that more can deal with whatever was there.
You never have a skill negotiator on
your
your
never have a
side.
seasoned manager we can make a phone call and so forth and so on. Me and him started out same time. Him as a manager, I used to work with Richie and him start management. So of course, I did real vex and I say, yo, the man lock off him phone for me and then me see a video with some girl I sing my part. You see me I say? So I just think that whole thing, I realize years after, say, yo, I the label never want me to be a part of it.
Yeah, because usually you would say, oh, maybe you feel like you're wronged by Sean Paul and Jeremy Harden.
But hindsight, you realize.
I understand why a label wouldn't want to include Vegas on the project.
Why?
Because maybe overshadow Sean.
I just
so
thought
that them market them project.
For sure.
Me strong in the marketplace. Me is a competitor to your brand. Or competition to your brand. Yeah, them not go at the two away at radio. Them not go let you the two away one time. We don't really have a legacy there. Or the privilege when it comes down to artists coming out of Jamaica.
That's why you said because you were the bigger artist, at least seen so at the time.
Right. So they couldn't let me through. They couldn't. It's a company like VP that promote me then for bigger than them brand. Because I had a buzz at radio already. Hence I was doing well.
So you think that if it had gone the way that you wanted it to go, and you were attached to the song when it entered in the US market at the time, you think that your career would have been bigger? You've ever thought about your career going differently?
I think I would have gotten some traction from the visibility alone with me on BT again. Because heads I was just on BT. And MTV jams and them station there.
Yeah.
So me again, you know, you follow up, people that say, yo, it's a follow-up. So I don't think VP wanted to risk that. That maybe would have hurt where them up spend their money on.
And you ever think about that? Like, think about why would they want it? Because when you say competition, I say the mere fact that you guys did a collaboration together, like it wasn't even about competing, it was just about working together. So why would VP
look at it
stall
as,
you deliberately stall you?
Because you have to understand they must spend their money on something. They must spend their money on a brand. Just listen to the song. Where the people are going to sing, chilla la 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 boom boom. Who them are going to sing? Me I sing that.
Yeah.
You understand? Me already, you know, me have fans. My fan base are grow. So maybe I would have overshadowed Sean during that time, because when him get the Black Shadow, Give Me the Light tune, him just take up on a different level. So maybe at that time, based on my presence in the market, it wouldn't be good business for VP. Maybe them calculate that. And maybe they were right. Because we now see the result. But Sean Paul is like a major brand. Seeing? But I still think the man should have just reach out to me and say, artist, this is going, you know. Because me and him like real cool. You see me, I say, listen, I'm one of the most understanding youth in the music industry.
At that time?
Tell you, to this day.
Okay. Because I mean,
Listen,
we're grown now, but
don't
maybe
make
at
nobody
the
tell you
time.
nothing. From day one, me one of the youth would do my research them, get good lawyers to cover my contract them, advise artists to do them thing. Them, I beg Sean Paul say, yo, don't sign that contract then.
Yeah, for you to be able to say that to him.
If him did listen to me, maybe him wouldn't be so rich now. But me say, don't sign it until I get me say, yo,
So I say, oh, thank God I did that.
Right, no, not just don't sign it. Don't sign it without a lawyer look over it.
Yeah.
Understand? Me say, yo, I've gotten this contract. So me I say, I got this contract. Make a lawyer look over it. Because you don't want your money cross collateralized and all of them things. Be very careful. So me didn't know them things from early on. So me that did fully understand. I mean, I still make money from the project. Me that fight to get my name on the project. Me that say, no, if you're not putting on the video, I want my name on the thing.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like, what compromise would you have accepted? So even if you weren't in the video, you just wanted your name attached to the song.
Yeah, of course.
So you're not getting no money or publishing or whatever, but you just want your name attached to the song.
No, I forget my publishing. That's something I can't negotiate.
Okay.
That non-negotiable.
All right.
It's a mess. But
even though you re-recorded it, that means they work out a whole different contract that you don't collect publishing and royalties.
No, I collect, but the royalties. Maybe no royalty.
Yeah.
But publishing, they can't mess with that.
Okay.
I set this, I don't play no games with that.
Okay.
You understand? I don't negotiate that.
Okay.
You see? But what they did was, and I was not cognizant of this, that when I re-recorded the song, I changed the master. Because the original, I was the one who took the original to Greensleeve. The whole juggling. Because VP never wanted it. So I actually, and Christian was iffy about it because the rhythm was street sweeper rhythm to this day is not one of them rhythm the way the Yankee them. That's why them remix it.
Yes.
It's that pop, 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 and you know, international audience are really dance.
Probably would more palatable to the international audience.
Right, them a dancer. Them a like a half key dancer. Them more dancer. They put on it. So I had to beg Greensleeve to take the album, to take the compilation. So they couldn't have released the song without me re-record it because Greensleeve owned the master at that time for all the songs. So all the stories we make up, but years that gone still. I still think, and what I was saying, maybe where Sean Paul now feelings get hurt. Me go do a tune now, go say, fire for RuPaul, fire for Poe Paul. Me not do no more song with Sean Paul, and I think them Bex me put their name so close to RuPaul.
Mr. Vegas, that was egregious. And probably that's why, you know, within your heart, say, nah, go and reconcile.
I did just rhyme the part.
You know, that go enough time a dancer. I just rhyme sake.
Sure.
I wasn't even thinking about it, but I can understand. You know, as a little bird, so me say, yo, the artist vexed the man say, put him name close to RuPaul. Done gone already.
You know, I was thinking, I said, the RuPaul, the big name, but then I remember watching a Arsenio Hall interview with him.
Like first
them time
iteration of Arsenio
and that was
right?
in the 90s.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, he was definitely.
Some still think so maybe Sean Paul get up all some night and say, yo, man, put my name inside the room.
And just choose violence, and curse Mr. Vegas name.
Yeah, that was I think out of everything, that was one of the biggest problems.
Forever beef.
But if he should actually reach out to you and say,
Me could do a song.
you would have no problem.
No, man, me and the DJ good enough. Me just think say, as me say,
no,
based
you
on-
the
based on
DJ
the
good
vibe.
on your side.
based on the vibe where you know between me and him, and how we communicate, how we, I think we're good, as
So you've
distance
spoken
brethren.
after and like you've
Yeah,
reconciled.
man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Me and him good,
So
man.
it's just us and the people
Nah,
who.
man, me and Sean good, man. And then when me get we call when the shooting go on in my yard. Now him they on the phone every night I cheer me up, man.
Yes.
I say, yo, don't make them get here, artist.
Cool.
Yeah, man. When me know my struggles, them man, I him reach out to me, man. And him wife is a great lady. Me I try fight for them do something about the sex registry where we have here in Jamaica when I have no use. Him wife reach out to me and find out how we can make changes to it. So a real good people, them man. But I personally just think say the whole thing with VP them cars, it just mash up the energy with me and Sean.
And what about you and Jeremy Hardy?
Me and Jeremy good, but here with Jeremy thing now, when the whole thing I go on now, me think so I say something to Jeremy. When me only say it now, based on the history me have with Jeremy. Because if I never Jeremy, me only day I never talk to him.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm right Nike.
No, him record Nike. That's the first tune me have. And he actually waited on me when my job when it broke. See? Him waited on me like extra time. Because Beanie Man voiced on the beat and Beanie Man was pressuring him to release the rhythm. And him actually waited for me to remove the wires from my mouth for record Nike here. So me owe him a great deal.
So what was it that you said, Mr. Vegas?
Me not repeat that, man. Me edit at them. No, you know what? I think I give him one of the one of your situations.
It's okay, mother.
One of them something.
Oh no.
He said something to me like, "Yeah, we don't need Vegas," and I was like, "You don't need Vegas," and I was like, "For real?" So I kind of feel, my feelings.
Men are emotional.
I think
Well,
it's
like
more.
them
I don't feel emotional.
That even my situation and
You sound like Tulox.
No, not you, but I'm just saying men in general. Like, that everybody wants things that they're above emotions and like whatever they can operate from a logical standpoint. No, like some of us all the time operate on emotions first.
It's just
and
that
then hindsight logic comes
I just
in.
want more as slave to food one.
But how you mean we're a slave?
It's a different story.
How?
Yeah, but they're gonna say, and even my situation, it sound like in Jeremy, it sound like an Irishman in get.
That's yes.
I think when it comes down to emotions, I think because of ego, it's just energy in motion. So, that's his emotion, energy in motion. So based on ego, I think we're very egotistical. So
We are.
Yeah.
Them thing.
I go play a role as
Component with fame and fortune. My God.
super ego that kick in.
I don't understand how someone in a sociopathic, like
Some of them are.
Some
no,
of us are though.
meaning feel like I kill people and
No, we not go so
some
far.
without conscience. Like
No, me never there.
I'm just saying, like
Conscience good watch us. Why you bring my name like?
Me never there, Bridget. Me never there.
without the CONSCINCE whatever. How you spell? Wait,
Yo, make sure you get it right.
CONSCIENCE. There
Conscience.
you go. Yes.
Conscience. Yo, time. Yeah, when you come even want to talk a little further about, isn't it? How you view labels and all them things, isn't it?
That's a whole different story.
Whole different story.
Me have something interesting when I work on maybe another 6 months or so in the circle.
Okay.
We have something more, we can maybe benefit. Depends on the outcome. We can benefit other artists in the industry because me think that the artists them underrepresented in the industry. I think many of the artists them, have been exploited.
That's part of the reason why you say you even got your degree as well in.
Yeah, it must
I
come
want to further understand them situation.
Yeah.
And
A lot
able
of
to do
the
more for
artists
yourself.
them in our industry trust me, you're frightened for no man. I'm working on something and it's in the pipeline, so artists are their managers also can see what I'm working on. So then them reach out to me and them share them story with me. I'm like, yo, if some people have know them things here because out of ignorance, you know, we have been exploited over the years out of ignorance. Case in point, like when I did Head's Eye album, and it was like, say it was an 85-15 split, 15% to me. 85 go to the label because them time that them have to use up more resources to put the project forward. But now them not have to use them resources to put the project forward, but them still give 15%. When them just upload it to digital platforms. So nobody now fight for that. You understand me? So them just get away with murder, and this is happening. Just picture you do that. This is a whole industry, and we're talking about the catalog of the greats them, the Dennis Brown them, the Berries them. We're talking about great artists over the years. I remember we do album whole heap, you know. You know, Sizzle almost say about 200 albums.
And you're not exaggerating.
About 263.
Buju have enough album.
You're
you know,
not exaggerating.
Dennis Brown. You know, whole heap album we are talking about. So just picture all of them contracts there. I'm not saying Buju and Sizzle. But I'm just, you know, Just picture the amount of artists that have been exploited over the years are still being exploited.
And there needs to be a restructure.
So pray for me so them not do me something before it forward still. It's actually like try to be a martyr.
See it there?
Well, you want to die, I say let them die. But whatever.
But Mikey Bennett has the same approach when it comes down to death and what we call death. And nature, Mikey just see that some people have dead for people live.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, and the lion
Utilitarian.
Is that Marxist?
No, utilitarian.
the lion of are you doing psychology?
That's my degree.
Oh, that's why you speak like that. I can understand. It's a message.
She flaunt it all the time.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
But most of the people,
I don't, because I barely remember what I studied.
But most of the people that may come across in their studies, though, like France, them and those people are like, you know, maybe racist, you know, people. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
Have to be very careful. But I think Mikey Bennett has that same approach because Mikey Bennett is like a master teacher. Mikey Bennett that does music.
Yeah, man.
He's like a master. You know,
Yeah.
So you know, in Billy like the lion have to eat the gazelle to survive. So see him so.
And the lion do what to do, and the gazelle do what to do.
To provide nutrient to the plants, and bacteria to make you know.
And the gazelle have to eat the grass, as if it's a part of the ecosystem. We all work in the circle of life, you know.
So I
learned that from Lion King, not
Of course.
not.
That doesn't work. That's not gonna work. You know, people are go bend up them nose at you. People are go dislike what you're saying because we were cultured to fear death. Yeah. And we have a burning place to go to if you die. And even if you're a righteous person, you still fear death.
But then it's always weird, like how you fear that when your riches is in heaven and you have to get to heaven.
I don't
to
want
die.
to subject because I scatter for that.
But it's a weird concept to me.
Yo, the name that episode, like,
Yeah, I think we did, yeah. That was a weird, but it's a weird thing though. I mean,
Yo, Mr. Vegas have only but iconic, unintentionally funny moments. That meme.
Yeah.
Meme was a good one.
They're iconic still.
No, I tried to justify that for months.
But no, I'm not saying Mr. Vegas just drop it.
You know when I dropped it though? Here when I dropped it, Muta called me.
Yo, make a Muta reach your phone, man.
Yo, I'm not giving you too much.
Yo, what I'm saying?
Muta called me and say, brethren, the word is mean. So me, you know, so me very argumentative. So me I say, so me I say, Muta, but SEBE a what? So I don't busy when you want to. The word get an English teacher. I'm looking forward.
I'm not gonna lie.
The first time I see that,
Yeah, you're right.
But I just threw Mr. Vegas did a argue because I see the videos and put out say, but let us see. That's why I said that one voice on that 9. I give them. Let us break it down. So BE. No, baby. So what is M-E? No, baby. No, brother, just drop it. No.
Well, I was actually thinking me. I was like saying the word what it is, but then.
I think that speaks to my personality still. Me always a fight.
No, man.
But I give up.
To the very end.
Yeah.
Maybe I give up. But I lose the battle. So
Yeah, man.
at one time, I link up with my Portuguese friend and I say, yo, pronounce already a record for me. Because the Portuguese, that's what them say. So me actually get my Portuguese friend them enough to say it, you know.
Yeah.
Say, yo, because if you listen to the Portuguese, them, you know, pronounce it. Then pronounce it as meme. So me say, all right, look how me gonna mash them up now. Portuguese friend, Brazilian friends, yo. All right, don't touch it. Yeah, record that for me.
Till you make a song. Make a song,
and all the song we make on the Europe, I perform the song.
Should I be a liar?
I'm just a person where I think I love winning, so.
You should have been a liar.
So that's why I want to be a politician.
Right? Debate.
There's just too much reading right now. Me leave here, so now me have 5 essays, and you know about when you were doing your degree.
Yeah,
you know the amount of reading, and as you see, you know what's a cure for insomnia? Reading.
I don't know if
Of course.
Is it cure for insomnia?
When you need for reading,
I thought it was sex, but okay.
No, Bridget, that come close, man. Unless you're lazy.
Reading.
What do you forget the hell out of there? Your Boss Utes time. Mr. Vegas.
Give thanks.
Who's your Boss Utes artist and song of the week? You said about artist and song, right?
Twinkle Brain.
Yeah. Remember I name my song?
Him name I just like him song star. I remember his name.
Goada song.
Goada.
That's what it told us, yes. Just say it. Alright.
Twinkle Brain. I've been hearing a lot of feedback on his name though. Getting a lot of feedback on his name. So maybe if Twinkle Brain, I don't know. That is just the feedback then. Maybe you want to check out some of the feedback them Twinkle Brain.
The name kind of make it hard to, but the song bunch people. Here, alright, so here's some other people. Twinkle Brain Goada.
Tell them that can't sink your ship. So all who a fight we and a spite we. Make them know the Almighty say, go harder. No matter how times get harder, you have to go harder.
Alright, so that was Mr. Vegas's pick. Alright, what's your pick this week?
My pick this week, well, can I tell a little bit about my song?
Sure, Ari.
Because I was like, when I first heard the song, I was like, it's okay. I like it, but there's something missing. But we have difference of opinion on what was missing. But we all agree that it's a good song.
Yeah.
So
and the voice there.
Yeah. So we're gonna my pick this week is Marley, and the song is I Can Go.
Right, here's some other people.
Something different when me roll one and light it up. You see the place where me come from. Try not go. Them heart cool in no function.
Actually, that was Alkaline Marley. Is he an actual Marley? Do you know?
Maybe.
Not
enough for them.
I can go. Jams.
Yeah.
+2. Where's song artist?
Yeah, this week I'm using Amanyea, and the name of the song is Dibby.
Yo, big up Amanyea, a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Big up yourself. Here's some other people.
Give me hot, no, Dibby, hot. So see me hot, come bring it for me, yeah. Give me hot, no, Dibby, hot. So see me hot, come bring it for me, yeah. Call them can't style like me, can't wine like me, get wild like me, yeah.
Alright, so that was Amanyea, no Dibby.
Dibby.
Just Dibby. Okay. So
Who's your pick this week?
Well, thank you for asking, Ari. I think this week we're going to you name Onsoundmynd or the big voice. Big up Onsoundmynd, big up Junior Bloodline. This is one of them singer. Them say, at least if the people them who want to argue say, the government not talking about certain songs and they want to talk about certain songs that are being pushed. Here's a song that I'd like to be pushed out there named Less Care that speaks to whole heap of, societal issues and things of that nature. Deep song. You see me, so big up Onsoundmynd. The song is called Less Care.
Just cause of the less care, less love. Now we have less fear, more guns. Used to have a deaf ears with a sore thumb that they set me slow down. I get the house now. So
bring a trouble on me doorway.
Alright, so big up Onsoundmynd, Les Kier, Junior Bloodline, / Road Team, big up on the damn self, big up Onsoundmynd, of course. Big voice out there, I feel like say yeah, film time and forward. I feel him in that they are the type class of voices that arise. You see me, big bad singing voice them. You know what I mean? Big up. Alright. Bust the Utes that. Songs of the week. Give thanks to the good people at Audiomack. Remember, people, if you want to listen to Jesus, at least you get away from the mic this time, John.
I tried.
If you want to listen to the full songs, the full version of the songs, you can do so on Audiomack. That is one of those platforms that supports dancehall music. You hear how much streams Alkaline have on Audiomack right now. They have made it more available for streaming, to happen in the Caribbean, of course, for local artists. So big up Audiomack all the time. And that just about does it for the Fix podcast. And people have to say big up, much respect to our special guest, Mr. Vegas. I want to say, the videographer asks, well, Vegas have beef? I said, no, mate, look how much things about Mr. Vegas and man for. Like, it doesn't matter whatever we criticize about Vegas for every time.
He gets it.
Mr. Vegas gets it. And him know, say, at the end of the day, mutual respect. I'm telling you all the time, say, we respect Mr. Vegas. True. The first time I talked to him, I said, I never really respect you as much as I should, but like, even just based on this first conversation, I respect you. True. It's been growing ever since. You know what I mean? Big up Mr. Vegas. What the people don't care for like?
Mr. Vegas music.
Of course. Tell me about the new song we have out now. The new
My Story. Yeah, man, check it out. It telling about my story. It was written, over a beat of Black Shadow give me. Black Shadow produced Sean Paul, Give Me Light, and Sizzla and Cabra. So my story is like just basically I share a little bit about where I come from, and people say the glory, but them know say enough time I want to jump off a tree story or a 8 story. Because as you say, sometimes I think we are I think sometimes artists are overwhelmed. Sometimes people just see artists and them just think say we can't be psychopath too, but
true, and like they don't have feelings. Sometimes even when critiquing, I have to remember that.
Well, for artists, music business is very stressful.
It can be,
and worse we have social media now. Artists were used to take drugs and them thing there in back in the days before social media. I don't even think them could cope in this era. If you're weak in another industry, because trust me, you're gonna see the comments them. Yeah, and if you're not have thick skin, you can easily lose it.
True.
And worse, they try prove a point, say, am I right? And you get the fire.
Am I right? Am I right?
Trust me. So I'm immune to enough things still. So so my story, I share a little bit of that still. It was produced by Black Shadow.
Right. You shouldn't go listen, people, and go stream it and go support good music, alright? You don't know, you can follow me, EDOTNARO, Instagram, Twitter, them can find
Follow me on Instagram at ARIHAMMOND.
Javs.
Follow me on Instagram at Just Javs and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
New vlogs.
Just Javs.
They're up there now?
New vlogs.
Are you creating a page for your twins?
Just might. I just might.
What feel bad?
No, but people want to come first.
Zine?
Yeah.
As a DJ, but mommy, me did born first.
It's a whole business.
And I'm ready for it. Like, hi guys, welcome back.
What's up, guys?
Yes. When I hear twins, I hear dollar signs. If I didn't meet, you know what I mean? Cute twins. I mean, they're cashing on that. YouTube from Rasho.
A quick question, no sound done with you, eh?
Yeah.
Long time. We're old foot now.
Scholastically and business-wise.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Because the last time I saw you guys, you were still at UA.
Yeah.
So, give thanks, man.
That's what you can call hungry days of the fix. You know what I mean? Hungry.
No, I see it, man. I see the work on the put in.
We're still hungry, but whatever.
Good sound.
Still hungry about them that were hungry like that.
White squall.
You know what I mean? All them things there.
It's good to see that you guys still together and still make it work.
Yeah.
Even though there's a competition out there still, but Just keep growing, man.
Give thanks. That's what we're trying to do out here. You know what I mean? I respect to all the platforms out there.
You see a person, a good person, I found a link with Steve from Sun City.
Yes. Next door that, Mr. Vegas. Next door that. Alright, people don't know, so you can follow us across all social media platforms at The Fix JA. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/TheFixJA. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheFixJA. Give thanks to all our subscribers. We say, you know what I mean, reach over 150,000 subs on the YouTube and all these things. I mean, big up yourself. Of course, vlog channel there as well, which you can subscribe to, which admittedly we've been, you know what I mean,
Neglect.
in a way, yeah. But we're gonna try to do more vlog content for the people them out there. And yeah, that I guess that just about does it. We got enough people. We just remember say, what we're gonna name the podcast. Just so morbid.
You right? Let them
die. Anyways, give thanks for listening, watching, and all these things, people. We got geek out, police dodging time.